that's what I was like with the first two Hulk movies. I was like, I can't remember. I get the details merged between them.
My problem with the Hulk movies is you don't know which one's canon and which one's not, and then like because the one with Ed Norton is canon.
Yeah. But
the one with Bana isn't. So the
Bruce Banner.
Eric Bana. But that one's not canon, and is, in my opinion, a superior comic book Hulk movie. I liked that movie. But I can't look at Mark Ruffalo and go, you are 100% the Hulk because Ed Norton was it first. Even though
I don't know what your problem is, man. We all freaking bend over backwards to accept the freaking Batman movies that have been like the original 4 Batman movies: Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. And everyone sits there and they just yeah, this is all the same universe, and nobody ever gives a shit, right? So if you can accept that, then you can accept the Ed Norton to Mark Ruffalo.
I love the Tim Burton Batman movies.
Yeah, me too. They're, in my opinion, and it's just nostalgia, they are the best Batman movies. Those are the ones that I will sit down and watch over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I remember watching Batman Returns when I opened up my hand when I was 6 years old. I managed to get the...
you unclenched a fist for the first
time? No,
time?
I shattered a glass in my hand.
Oh.
Accidentally, and tore up my hand. But there was a TV in the hospital room and I was watching Batman Returns. And I remember my dad coming in to visit and going, that's not appropriate for you, and sitting down and watching it with me.
That might have been, actually... 1992 was a good year for me because I was 4 years old. And I feel like 1992 may have been my sexual awakening because I was dealing with Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman, and Princess Jasmine all in the same year. And I was like, I don't know what
your sexual awakening was at 4 years old?
I feel like that's the first time at 4 years old I went, she's shaped different to the men, but I like this over here.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I like this tummy and this black and shiny.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. 92 is a good year. I don't know, though. Jessica Rabbit came up before that. Like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That was...
Jennifer Connelly and...
yeah, but I might have been too young at that
Labyrinth?
point.
Labyrinth was...
You know, I didn't see Labyrinth until I was like 17 for the first time, and it didn't wow me.
Really?
I was 17.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's one of these movies that you have to be the right age to see. If you haven't seen Star Wars by the time you're 22, you don't give a shit.
Yeah, you don't care.
Right? And that's... Yeah. There's a lot of movies like that.
Do you know what else as well? Actually, I wanted to mention, just because we talked about Batman. I don't know if you've seen the interview where Michael Keaton is on with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And I think Jimmy Fallon, I forget the question exactly, but he's like, who do you prefer, Spider-Man or Batman? Or make some comment on that. And he starts to pretend to fight him or choke him or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot you're the bad guy in Spider-Man. He's like, no, I'm Batman. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I totally forgot you're Batman. I was like, I can't believe we're at the point now where people are forgetting Michael Keaton's Batman.
No. Birdman, the movie that came out where he played Birdman, the entire time it's just him tongue-in-cheek, I was Batman. And it's just a vision of his...
He was good, though.
I would not say that is tongue-in-cheek anything. That was the most hard... I don't know. I freaking love Birdman. I like that he went from Batman to Birdman to Vulture.
Yeah.
Like that just... That's it. Also, I can never say Birdman without thinking of Harvey Birdman.
Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah, please.
I don't know if this is a confession or what, but...
We're here for you.
I just want you to know that this exists. I actually own the molded Batman, Michael Keaton Batman mask that comes down, molds to your face, and then drops down to about here.
You got the full cowl
that has the chest logo on there as well.
And you can wear it for.
And you can wear it. You can put it on, and it cheekbones everything.
I want you to know that that's not a confession. We are just better friends now. That's what that is.
I will have to find it, but I should put a picture of that on it.
I want you to
really
know,
should. Yeah.
I want you to know that it's not.
Put it right next to you, shaking it like Pooh Bear.
Batman always has time to do his eye makeup before he puts his mask on and goes to save the city.
I want you to know that I don't just have it doesn't include the chest, but I've got the C-3PO mask that comes around the whole head as well. I bought it at freaking Star Tours.
We should do a bank job.
Oh my god, yeah, Dan, you can.
I'll just hold my Captain America shield over my face.
You have to hold it over your face
the entire time.
This is going to be that scene from the new from Spider-Man: Homecoming with the bank robbers. Yeah. Wear the plastic mask.
You guys aren't the Avengers.
Yeah.
No, I actually one of the things I want to do.
If you're going to cosplay, you need to cosplay as Mr. Clean.
As Mr. Clean? Just because I just shaved my head today?
Also, I can only see one of the earrings.
Oh, yeah. That's not the first time I got that joke. But what I want to do for the decor of this room, and I got this from watching Joe Manganiello's Nerd Room. He's got this big, like
through binoculars.
Yeah, that did sound creepy. From
the bushes off to the side, you know.
Yeah. With 2 dead guard dogs.
Every time he comes out, I got to run, and half the time I just leave my pants behind.
Yeah, who needs them? I'll be back later to get them. I mean, it's fine. No, he's got this big.
Please finish this. That's bad place.
I was like, this is going to be a legitimate podcast. I'm not doing it, but.
He's got a big bust of
Sofia Vergara's ass. A big
of a mind flayer's head. On a trophy.
There's a local comic book store that has those for sale.
Yeah, I'm saving up the ducats and I'm going to be getting one.
Those are like $500. They have a mind flayer and they have a red dragon.
Yeah, there's also you could get a chandelier that's a beholder. And each of the eye stalks is a light.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I want all of that.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I would sell my soul for that. I would sell my soul to get one of those things.
That sounds like a very, very good segue into Warlocks, and I want to continue on the movie discussion just to ruin it, but I won't. Because today we're actually talking about Warlocks.
I want to continue trying to segue into Sofia Vergara, which is I thought where we were going.
Like on a segue into her?
Yeah, just
and then over you go.
Dodging bullets.
All right, no, I want to talk about Warlocks today, boys. We're, by user request, we actually kind of changed the schedule around to play these guys first. So after the intro, we'll get to some Warlocks.
You say some Morlocks?
Warlocks.
Warlocks.
Not
some
Warlocks.
Some dreadlocks?
Welcome to It's a Mimic with your DMs, Adam, Dan, and Terry.
Some Goldilocks.
Some padlocks. Now we're back to the furniture. Fuck.
All right, so today we're we're back to doing our class overviews. And today we're going to be covering some alternative adventures, the Warlocks, which are the Pact Hunters. Very, very nicely done on the titling. Yet again, Adam.
You're welcome.
So Warlocks are probably one of the most confusing and unique classes in the game.
Well, they're the newest one, right?
They're the newest one, and you can tell they've put a lot of heart and soul into them. So much soul, in fact, yeah.
Terry, it's funny because you know what? It doesn't work with you. Yeah. I feel like you get it. You just don't give a shit.
Because you sell your soul to a patron.
You don't have to explain it to Terry. He gets it. He just doesn't give a shit, right? Like he gets it.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Warlocks.
Yeah.
I'm just joking, Dan. I prep for your episode. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. We got asked by a listener to move things around. What are you doing with your hat? I cannot do this with your hat that way.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm taking the hat off.
So we got asked by a listener to cover Warlocks early. We were going to cover fighters and stuff, but we're
going to do fighters and monks and kind of work our way nearly alphabetically down through the list.
Yeah, but by popular request, we're changing things up to be able to get these Warlocks out to you guys. I'm just going to break down the Warlocks traits, everything else about them real quick, their mechanics, and then we're going to move on with some questions. So this is going to be a bit of a blurb of information.
So sorry, you're covering the basic class, but not the subclasses.
I'm covering the basic class, not the subclass. When we get to talking level 3 stuff is when I'll kind of end right off the bat at level 1. There's going to be a little bit of a disclaimer about how we're going to run subclasses with the Warlock specifically. But I want to go over the basic. Every Warlock gets these kind of stats and stuff first. So your Warlock is a character who has in some way, shape, or form, made a pact with some sort of greater external power. Not necessarily a god. They're very anti-cleric or counter-cleric in that respect, that they're not necessarily a god. These tend to be high-powered, but not quite deific powers. So you're aligning with Archfey and Great Old Ones and devils, but not like Asmodeus himself. You're not going with like your devil lord.
You are. It's archdevil.
Oh, sorry. It's your archdemons. You're not going into, and your actual deities. You're not touching with this. Yeah. So, with that otherworldly patron, which is going to be your first of the abilities, you get to choose that. We'll talk about those in a minute, because that is really the first. Really, right off the bat, you get your first big distinction away from your standard classes in the book, because you get your first major choice right at level 1. Most of them, you're getting them at level 3 for your first subclass. So when we are going to sit down, and if you've listened to the other class episodes, you know where we break down
the class features
first, and then we break down the subclass. We're going to be choosing different patrons as our subclasses. The actual subclasses, which are your pacts as a warlock, I will cover separately.
Sure.
Okay, so let's go from the top here. A warlock is a 5-level spellcaster. They can only cast up to 5th level spells. You get a D8 hit points as a caster, but that's actually a little bit in the flavor because they are said to be intellectual and charismatic like your other 2 main arcane spellcasters, which is what they fit in, your sorcerers and your wizards, but they have a more martial capability to them. Your base warlock has your D8 hit points, but it also has proficiency in light armor and simple weapons, which your wizards and your sorcerers don't.
Yeah, I feel like you're swinging a sword. Like your melee is a warlock, right?
Yeah.
You can be.
Or you got a hook or sickle or something, right? Like
yeah,
you've got some...
But you're doing damage. You're not just... I mean, as much as you're... We'll cover this later, but as much as you're just spamming Eldritch Blast, you can also, deal out some decent damage as well.
Yeah, exactly. Your main wisdom saves are wisdom... Or so your main saving throws are wisdom and charisma. And you get to choose 2 skills from Arcana, Deception, History, Intimidation, Investigation, Nature, and Religion. Right off the bat. All of those make a lot of sense. And
Can you do that slower?
Sure. Arcana,
yeah.
Deception, History, Intimidation, Investigation, Nature, and Religion. You basically get your knowledges, plus the ability to lie, the ability to scare, and the ability to hunt things down.
Ooh. See, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. We're skewing evil with the warlock. It's in the flavor, right?
Yeah, it's definitely morally ambiguous.
It's heavily suggested, but I feel like, and we'll get into this later on, I feel like we can get creative with it where we don't necessarily have to, but I think the idea is initially that was the idea, right? You're selling your soul for probably selfish reasons.
Yeah, you're selling your soul for some sort of otherworldly power, right? And that's not necessarily a good thing to do.
That's why I paired it. I mean, surprise, we're also doing rogues, right? In this pairing, rogues are also like thief and assassin, and like these are the evil-ish.
Kind of, originally,
yeah,
we're getting to a point where we can.
But if you're going to have an edgelord, it's going to be one of these 2, right?
Yeah.
Like these are the ones that wear eyeliner.
They both do.
Yeah.
On stock.
Both my Valentine t-shirts. God damn it! Just trivium everywhere.
Everything's dashboard.
That's their god. Their god's their patron's name is Trivium.
I pray to Reznor.
Anyways, so we're gonna keep going here. So they get their otherworldly patron. Today we're gonna be talking out of Xanathars and Skag. We're not going to be covering the main book ones. That's also by request. We will cover the Great Old One, the Archfiend, and the Archfey in later episodes, for sure. Adam got up and walked away.
Adam's gone away.
Oh, he grabbed.
What are we covering today?
So today we're covering the Hex Blade, the Celestial, and the Undying.
Oh, I like them though. I'm excited actually to get to it.
I'm really excited as well. One of the longest lived warlocks I've ever played is a Celestial Pact of the Blade warlock. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. With your Pact magic, it's super weird how warlocks do spells. It's different from every single class.
Oh god. I would say as well, just sorry to interrupt you, if you're brand new to D&D, don't read Warlock first, because it's going to mess up your brain for the rest of spellcasting.
Yeah. I have sat across the table of many experienced players who still don't quite understand how Warlocks work.
Because they're going in with that wizard mentality.
Yeah,
like,
right.
This is, I don't understand.
You use your spell slots and you get them all back on a long
cleric,
rest.
yeah.
But the strength of the Warlock comes with the short rest. Mm-hmm. It's one of the only classes that I could think of, other than like maybe a bard, that is super reliant on short rests. Mm-hmm. Bards get all their bardic inspirations back on a short rest once you hit a certain level.
I feel like monks have some short rest stuff.
Your Battlemaster warriors is like fighters as well. Yeah. They get short rest, getting their superiority dice back. But warlocks get their magic back.
Huge.
as a short rest. So
I feel like this complements the fact that they're only considered half casters. I mean, we don't really have that term in 5th ed, but because they get so few spell slots and so few spells, and they never get the high-powered ones.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
They only go up to level 5.
And I think it's because, I know you'll talk a lot about invocations later and as we go into future episodes, but it's because you can lean into other skills. You can lean into the fact that you have your simple weapons and your light armors, and you can lean on your charisma for other things other than your spell casting.
Exactly. That is the one thing I forgot to mention. They are charisma-based casters. All of your saves, everything, your charisma is going to be your first, your force of will, or the ability you have to channel the force of your patron.
That's going to make cross-classing with sorcerers, bards, and paladins really popular.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Their magic comes from their charisma.
Yeah.
Like Freddie Mercury.
Also Reznor.
Freddie Mercury and Reznor.
So at first level, you're getting a single spell slot.
Yikes.
And it's a first level, and you only know 2 spells above your cantrips.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, though. You get expended spell lists depending on your patron.
Yeah.
So you know 2 base, but also there are 2 additional ones added.
Yeah, and you get them at like 3rd, 5th, 9th, 11th. Like, that's when you get them.
1 spell slot.
When your spell levels hit 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
So
you get the expended
at
spells,
the first level, you actually get the first round of it.
You cast in Hex once a day. That's what's happening.
Well, okay, so the other key thing about Warlocks is they also have a lot of very...
Key about the Warlock.
You get your very unique spells as a Warlock, and this is where your Eldritch Blast is going to come in, which is probably the most powerful cantrip in the game. Just in terms of straight up dice.
Agreed. And how you can add on to it.
And how you, as a Warlock, can add on to it with your invocations. And they built this class knowing you're going to be an Eldritch Blast monkey.
Yep.
Let's be completely honest. A large amount of your invocations are targeted straight towards making your Eldritch Blast more powerful or unique or whatever.
Even though, like, technically they have lower level spells, the fact that you can manipulate those spells to be more powerful, that's the trade-off. It's like, technically they're low level, but look, they're not really. We're making them better.
They're very reliant on the short rest and their cantrips, right? So they get Eldritch Blast, they get Green Flame Blade, they get Booming Blade, they get these kind of attack-based cantrips that are incredibly useful. They get a lot of the illusion and a lot of the deception kind of cantrips as well. They get all of your they get your minor illusions, they get your prestidigitations, they get those kind of things that can mess with people, right? Now, your spell slots. You get your 1 spell slot at level 1 of first level. You don't get your invocations yet. You'll get that level 2. But your spell slots regenerate on a short rest, which is massively important. I know we just mentioned it. It's massively important for a Warlock. All of the spell slots you get will regenerate. I'd also, if you are a Warlock, I would get you to look at the spell Catnap. It is a fantastic little spell that is your level 20 capstone ability in a 2nd level spell. So
I'm sorry, you get what?
What did you say?
There is a spell called Catnap.
I've never seen it. Where is this?
What it does is it lets you... it gives you... for a 10-minute ritual, it gives you the effects of a short rest. Which, your level 20 Warlock ability lets you have an instant short rest that regenerates on a long rest.
I feel like that's just like, it's just like...
Now, the caveat to Catnap is, 1, you have to basically be asleep for 10 minutes. And 2, you cannot be affected by the spell again until you take a long rest. So it gives you 1 free, quick, short rest.
Oh.
Right? Which is massive for a Warlock, and for other classes is nice.
I feel like you're picking that up, though, in Tier 2 and Tier 3, where you have other 2nd level spell slots that you can use.
Yeah.
You don't want that to be your only 2nd level spell slot, just so you get your 1 or 2 1st level slots back.
I would be tempted as a Warlock to use it as one of my
Literally,
first...
that is the thing about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are easily tempted, impulsive people.
To use that as one of my first couple 2nd level spells that I know, because it's so integral to a Warlock to have their spells. And you're going to burn through all your spell slots in an encounter as a Warlock if you're not careful. So, like, you have to really manage that, and to have Catnap as a resource, it's fantastic. pick up a couple scrolls of it or a wand of it or something, right?
Almost seems like it's not worth it, really, to sell your soul for just a few crappy spell slots.
But you get more, Terry.
Hey, this is a lesson. Stay in school, kids, and you can be a wizard, all right?
So
you don't have to talk to that drug dealer behind the building.
That drug dealer's like, come on, man. I'll fly you to the moon, man.
Your spellcasting ability is, of course, your charisma. So your saves are going to be 8 plus your proficiency plus charisma. Your attacks are going to be proficiency plus your charisma. Standard, fair, they're charisma-based casters. You use an arcane focus as a warlock. Most of these are going to be like your amulets of, like your tentacled amulets or your Book of Arcane Shadow or whatever it is. At second level, you get your invocations, which are through your study of occult lore and your communications with your patron and everything else. They're gifting you permanent passive abilities, whether that be to cast a spell without a spell slot or to have the most incredible dark vision in the game. You have 120-foot dark vision that pierces through magical darkness.
I don't even think I can see 120 feet now, to be honest.
Yeah, well, my eyes are garbage, so it's fairly accurate. But there are so many invocations. I want to direct you guys to look through the book and take a look at them. We're not going to be covering them all just because there are that many.
We'll get to them in future Warlock episodes.
The one thing we'll get to for sure, though, is the invocation related to what you get at third level, which is your Pact. This is the boon you get from your patron. There are 3 choices here. There's Pact of the Chain, Pact of the Blade, and Pact of the Tome. Just to go over them real quick, Pact of the Chain gives you Find Familiar, but it's Find Familiar on speed. These things, like you can get an imp or a quasit or a pseudo-dragon or a sprite. Like you could get these slightly more intelligent, more powerful, more magical. And if you listen to it, imp, quasit, sprite, pseudo-dragon, like these things are otherworldly. They are maybe even towards an evil bent. Maybe not necessarily pseudo-dragons. And your sprites are going to dance, but your imps and your quasits, they're almost certainly evil.
It's so weird. Man, Warlocks are freaking weird.
They really are.
Yeah.
So additionally, you get, when you can take the attack action, you can forego one of your attacks to have your familiar attack as well. So they're expecting your familiar to be out there with you. Speaking of those invocations, as a Pact of the Chain, you're going to get, at your very first level, from Xanathars, you're going to get Gift of the Ever-Living Ones. This is amazing. If you're within 100 feet of your familiar, any dice you roll for healing is treated as maxed on the dice. So if you're rolling Cure Wounds for yourself, you're getting full 8s.
So that's like, I feel better, but I can also see my puppy, so I feel super better?
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
Stands up.
Yeah, this is me communicating to the internet age.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Ooh, doggo, I feel better.
The other one you get is Voice of the Chainmaster, which is from the Player's Handbook.
Now, do you need a Dano coin piece of furniture to be... Never mind.
No, you do not need a Dano coin piece of a patented piece of furniture to get these. You guys are going to end up making me make this furniture.
Are we talking about the BDSM furniture?
Apparently.
What am I not?
Yeah, Adam sends me
see,
messages throughout the week and sends me pictures of...
Using the furniture, you would call them daddy, but also warlocks.
No, because it's Chainmaster specifically.
It's Chainmaster, yeah. Voice of the Chainmaster.
Nothing to do with calling somebody daddy.
So with your Voice of the Chainmaster invocation, you're going to be able to telepathically communicate with your familiar.
Could be mommy as well.
Hey, mama.
No matter where you are on the same as long as you're on the same plane of existence. They could be across the world on the other end. As long as you're on the same plane of existence, you could telepathically communicate with your familiar.
Love it.
What level do you get this at?
This could be your level 2.
Okay.
You get this when you choose Pact of the Chain. So anytime after level 3, you could swap out an invocation for this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is also with the Find Familiar spell, you can warg into it. You can perceive through its eyes and everything else. You are able to speak through your familiar with this as well. So no matter where it is in the world, it could go and speak with your voice. If you're warging into it.
Oh, so you could send it off on a...
You could send it off on a mission to go in, and if it's an imp, it can cast invisibility on itself at will. So, like...
Quasits can do that.
Quasits can do it as well, and, like...
I would send mine across the Greater Vancouver region to your bedroom window in the middle of the night to tap on your window and then just go, bitch.
Just so you don't have to do it in person.
Just so I don't have to do it in person. Yeah.
I'm gonna again. Yeah. Your next one is Pact of the Blade. Your Pact of the Blade is a Hex Blade light. It really is. You get to craft a blade out of Eldritch energy. You also get to claim a blade as your own. It is your favored blade. And with that, it becomes your pact weapon. You can... there's so much to do with a pact weapon here. You get... you're proficient with it while you wield it, so it doesn't even have to be something you're proficient with naturally. It's magic for the case of overcoming resistance. If it's more than 5 feet away from you for a minute, it disappears, and you could summon it to your hand. You could transform one magic item from your pack by performing a special ritual, which is an hour long, which is you choosing a different weapon.
How long does it take to summon?
It is a bonus action.
Good lord.
Oh, you can use your action to create a pact weapon in your empty hand.
Okay.
So you spend your action to pull this thing out no matter where you are.
And it has to be a blade, right? I can't do a mace or...
Any weapon. It doesn't actually specify blade.
Otherwise, I would have argued you could do like a glaive or something.
Yeah, you could do a glaive. You could do a great club. You could do a quarterstaff.
It doesn't even have to be a one-handed weapon. It could be...
The thing is, you could also do, with one of their invocations, you could do ranged weapons with it.
That was my next question.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
So if you look into Xanathar's...
could I smash a bottle and do it?
I want to summon a folding chair.
So if you take... So here's a little interesting thought. If you take like Tavern Brawler, the feat, which gives you improvised weapon proficiency, I don't see why you couldn't like my pact weapon's a chair.
My pact weapon is a dead kobold.
Something.
Yeah.
A Kaboblin. Bring back the Kaboblin and make that your
so many. What episode was the Kaboblin in?
I think it was in the Meet the DMs. Like that's a long range callback.
That was a while.
Yeah. Anyway, so invocations for your Pact of the Blade. In Xanathar's, you've got Improved Pack Weapon, which gives you a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, unless it already has it from something else. So you spend an hour to create this ritual to make something your pact weapon. It's instantly a +1 magic item, which is fantastic. And now you could conjure short bows, long bows, light crossbows, or heavy crossbows as a pact weapon as well.
I like a good heavy crossbow.
Not even touching it. Keep going.
Just in life, I just mean...
At 5th level, you get your ability to attack twice with your invocation. That is through Pact of the Blade and only through Pact of the Blade. You also get the ability to... Life Drinker. When you hit a creature with your pact weapon, the creature takes extra necrotic damage equal to your charisma modifier.
Well then.
Yeah, and you're a charisma caster. So you are now adding your dexterity
probably
and
+5. Right?
+5, right?
And we're doing this with 2 attacks, right? So...
Yeah.
You know what? That's all right. That'll steer you away from fighter if you want something a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, you're doing a +10. Yeah. Or it'll take you... I don't know about fighter. You're getting 5 attacks with fighter, but... with, like a paladin, maybe?
Yeah.
Right? That's...
Right.
Well, you're only going to get 5... well, you're talking about what to dip into with this? I would just go straight.
No. It would pull you away. Like, I like paladin because I get to add my strength modifier. Like,
I'm trying to justify why would I do this. If we're going more of a melee thing, why am I doing this over fighter?
If you go into Hexblade, you also have the ability to use your charisma as your attack and damage modifier stock with Hexblade. Add on top, if you go Hexblade, Pact of the Blade, you get double your charisma modifier to damage. Right? We'll talk about that later.
Sounds like we just did.
Cancel Hexblade.
All right, next is going to be your Pact of the Tome. These are your warlocks that get this Book of Shadows. These are your wizards that stumble across this book in the deepest, darkest recesses of the musty library reserves. This Book of Shadows gives you access to 3 cantrips from any class to choose from.
From fighter?
That has cantrips.
Okay.
Adam. It's how like Warlock could cast Shillelagh or Druidcraft. Right? Like those kind of things. The book, while it's on your person, you can cast these 3 cantrips as if they were your normal cantrips. They're added on top of your list. It makes you at this level, you would have you'd have 2 cantrips. You now get 5. And those 3 can be from any class.
Do they all have to be from the same class?
No, they do not.
Well then.
Yeah.
That just opens up some shit.
Yeah. They really opens them up for that. You also gain the ability to be a ritual caster through your invocations with this. You get your Book of Ancient Secrets, which is your invocation for...
Kama Sutra.
Yeah. It's also gives you the ability to cast 2 first-level spells with the ritual tag from any class's spell list. You guys, come on. You're killing me.
We're laughing about sex.
Immature. Clear you guys aren't getting any.
How many kids do you have?
3.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's had sex.
Well,
Twice.
At least, yeah, twins.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so you could take the invocation for Book of Ancient Secrets. This is going to give you the ability to ritual cast from any class in the game. So you want to cast your Liamon's Tiny Hut? Cool. You want to cast Commune? Cool.
This definitely turns you into more of a versatile caster. The Warlocks, if you feel like your Warlock doesn't have enough spells, this is the direction to go.
You also, it's very important to note that the ritual spells you put in your Book of Ancient Shadows do not count towards your list of spells known. So you could just keep on adding books in ritual spells into your Book of Shadows. And as long as your Book of Shadows is in hand, you could cast the ritual spells. You cannot cast them except as rituals, though. You can't expend one of your spell slots to cast one of the rituals you get from your Book of Ancient Shadows. But you can
keep learning them just from the game, just from meeting NPCs that know them, that'll teach you, and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
You can add other ritual spells as you level up to your Book of Shadows. And to do that is... you can, when you find such a spell, you can add it to the book if the spell's level is equal to or less than half your Warlock level rounded up. So, at level 20, you could add 9th level rituals to your Book of Ancient Shadows and cast them as rituals. It's fairly cheap as well. It's about the same cost as a wizard putting the spell into a spell book. It takes 2 hours, and for each level of the spell, it takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold for the rare inks to inscribe it per level of the spell. Right?
The rare inks are only good for one spell?
For that one spell, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's cumulative. I'm going to butcher that word because I butcher words frequently. It's cumulative. If you're casting a 8th level spell, you're spending 400 gold on the ink.
Right.
Just the ink, right? Now, once it's in your book, you're good. You could cast it as a ritual. You still have to follow the material components based on the ritual. Mm-hmm. But that is the initial cost for just putting the spell in your book. Okay. You also get the ability to not sleep. This one is in Xanathar's. Which I absolutely love. It's called Aspect of the Moon. And you no longer need to sleep and can't be forced to sleep by any means. To gain the benefits of a long rest, you can spend 8 hours doing light activities such as reading from your Book of Shadows and keeping watch. So your Warlock no longer sleeps.
You've gone full goth.
You've gone full goth. Yeah. Your paladin is waking up in the middle of the night with some sort of divine-inspired nightmare, looks up and sees you and you're just like, hi. And like you're just staring at them or something, right? Like this is the unnerving person that watches the party while they sleep.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as Adam.
You were the one that was outside a freaking window earlier in this podcast.
So was Terry.
Hello.
I'm the only
People
one.
expect me to be there.
I'm the only pure one out of the group of us. No, nothing?
No.
All right. Okay.
And no one is believing that. After that, there is spells. And
Which spells?
You get your 2nd level spells at level 3. You get your 3rd level spells at level 5, 4th level at level 7, 5th at 9th, and you're gaining up that way. You're also gaining a 2nd spell slot at level 2, and then not gaining a 3rd spell slot until level 11.
Ouch.
Which is when you are getting your next base class feature is at level 11. This is above your ASIs and feats.
So what am I looking forward to? All the way between...
You are looking into your patron features, which we will cover separately. You're going to get your patron features at level 6, at level 8, at level 10. They're fairly regular.
Yeah.
But in terms of base Warlock, you're not getting anything really new other than new spell levels.
You know, as we work on these classes, I find that that's pretty common. Like, you tend to get something at about level 6, and then you're just twiddling your thumbs. Yeah, till double digits. At
level 11, you get your Mystic Arcanum, your first one, which is a 6th level spell that you can cast for free. Now, if you note, this is a 6th level spell from the Warlock list.
What?
Warlocks get 5th level spells.
Yeah.
So, if you flip over to your spells in your book, which I have done before now, you'll see that Warlocks actually get 9th level spells.
I have a question.
Yes.
What?
How? How do we do this, Dan? I'm confused. You said too many numbers and I zoned out.
Okay, so Warlocks base casting only get up to 5th level spells.
Right.
However, they have in their spell list up to 9th level, and that is for their Mystic Arcanum. What their Mystic Arcanum does is it gives them the ability to cast one spell from 6th to level 9 spells without expending a spell slot. It gives them a free...
So you have one big fuck off spell that you get...
and you must finish a long rest before you could do it again.
So, okay, can you change your Warlock spells when you level, or is it long rest, or when do you get to change which spell?
Yeah.
When you level.
Okay, I mean, Warlocks seem pretty limited, but again, the idea of the Pact of the Blade and the Hex Blade means that you're in battle, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's... Anyway.
These things, do you know what this... Quick side note. Do you know what this has me thinking? There's a whole library now of spells that never get used in the game, because it's very rare opportunities that you can use them, which would be fantastic for magic items.
Yeah.
For just wands and charges and stuff
Well-
that very rarely get seen.
Yeah, and I would say that you want to dip into the high-level Bard and Druid stuff for the same reason.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. There's going to be some high-level Druid-only spells that will never show up in the game.
So, little sidebar on this. If you're looking for ideas for interesting magic items, get yourself in those higher-level spells.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Those classes, because you never see them. You never see the spells.
But make sure that they are one use only and then break
100%. There's a reason you rarely see them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now, just to give you guys an idea of what the Warlocks get for their Mystic Arcanum, at 6th level, you get the ability to cast Arcane Gate, Circle of Death, Conjure Fey, Create Undead, Eye Bite, Flesh to Stone, Mass Suggestion, and True Seeing.
Oh my god.
that totally fits in. Those are all the names of a Nine Inch Nails songs on an
exactly.
album.
That's an album.
Eye Bite.
Yeah.
Arcane Gate.
Watergate.
True Seeing.
Conjure Tina Fey. Was that one of them?
No, I think you get Amy Poehler at 8th level because she's the better one.
It's Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
It's Amy Poehler.
Yeah, she's your packed weapon. At 7th level, you get Etherealness, Finger of Death.
Not even touching. Keep going.
Five Finger Death Punch is a literal band, so I mean,
it is,
we're still on theme here. Force Cage,
Finger of Death,
and Plane Shift. So, like, the spells you're getting at these higher levels are absolutely insane for your Mystic Arcanum, and you get the ability to cast it once a day per long rest. Okay? At 8th level, you get Demi-Plane, Dominate Monster, Feeble Mind, Glibness, and Power Word Stun.
Yeah. Huge spells. Yeah, they've got to be one use only.
Yeah.
And then at 9th level, you get Astral Projection, Foresight, Imprisonment, Power Word Kill, and True Polymorph. That you can cast once per long rest.
So just once every... So go to sleep, wake up, you can do True Polymorph or just Power Word Kill.
Yeah, but the problem is if somebody wakes you up early from sleep, you turn around and be like, fuck off and die! And then they do, you're screwed for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
So at 11th level, you get access to your 6th level Arcanum. At 13th level, you get your 7th. At 15th level, you get your 8th. And then at 17th level, you get your 9th.
That's standard, though. For Arcane, 17th level opens up 9th level spells.
Now, the thing with Mystic Arcanum that I find is really interesting, when you get access to your 6th level spell, you get your 1 6th level. When you get access to your 7th, you have your 1 6th and your 7th. When you get access to your 8th, you have your 6th, your 7th, and now your 8th.
Yeah, but you can choose from one of those.
Nope. You get
1 6th,
you
1
get
7th,
1 6th, 1 7th, 1 8th, and 1 9th.
Wow.
Per day. On top of it. So they're a full caster, sort of.
Yeah, all right. It's fleshing itself out a little bit more.
Yeah. After
The
that...
thing is, though, you shouldn't go into a Warlock thinking of it as a full caster, though.
No, you really shouldn't. No.
You should be able to play chess a bit more with this character.
Yeah, I consider it to be on par with a Paladin and a Ranger, where they're getting, they're not getting the full range of spells as well, but they do have these extra bonus abilities that are magical. It just happens to be that with the Warlock, the magical abilities are freaking spells.
Yeah.
So
I would also like to point out, because your Mystic Arcanum are not actual, spells per se, once you choose it, you're locked in stone with it. You don't get to change your spells like you would your normal spells. No, you are locked in.
Ah, man, I'm not good with commitment, though.
Maybe you shouldn't be a warlock then, man.
I get analysis paralysis as well. So I can't, if there's too many,
There's so many options in this class, it's ridiculous.
I don't know.
Yeah, no two warlocks are the same.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
At that point, you're getting more invocations. At this point, when you hit 17th level and you get your 9th level Mystic Arcanum, you're getting your 8th level... you're getting your 8th invocation at 18th level. You're getting your 15th spell known at 19th level. And then at 20th level, you're getting Eldritch Master, which is where you draw on your... I love how they phrase this. You draw on your inner reserve of mystical power while entreating your patron to regain expended spell slots. You spend 1 minute entreating your patron for aid to regain all of your expended spell slots from your Pact magic feature. So you get your 4 spell slots back.
Yeah, but I mean, that's massive because that's your casting ability.
And anybody can stop for 1 minute after an account.
Exactly, yeah. And then once you regain your spell slots with it, you can't do it again until another long rest.
Yeah, but that's standard. I mean, what level do you get that at? Level 20? Right? It's not like you're chaining a whole bunch of encounters one after another at level 20.
No, you're doing like one big encounter followed by another big encounter.
3 days go by and then...
Yeah, exactly. You're not running 1d6 wolves. You'll be fine.
Exactly. So guys, we've talked about how many options there are. You get to choose from this litany of invocations. You get your Pact. You get your patrons. You get a rather expansive spell list as well that features things like Armor of Agathis and Hex and these spells that are very tonally set for Warlock only. Mm-hmm. I do want to roll dice though.
Yeah.
So my question is, we know what the base Warlock can do. I want you guys to give me one interesting hook or 2 or 3 interesting hooks for creating a Warlock. I want you to answer the question, and this is actually in the blurb at the very beginning of Warlock. What led to the Pact of your Warlock?
Right.
And how did you make the initial point of contact with your patron? So, grab your dice, gentlemen. Let's roll.
Okay, what did I get?
You knocked me from a 6 into a natural 20.
You're welcome.
Natural.
Thank you. So,
what did I get? What does mine say, Dan?
You have a 10. You picked the worst dice.
Man,
this thing is so hard to read.
Who would make a camo dice?
It's like a colorblind person's nightmare.
Oh my god.
It's red and yellow with little light blue numbers.
Colorblind tests.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Oh my god.
I would recommend the green one with white lettering.
Purple, actually.
You're going purple? Okay.
Yep.
So, with a natural 20, I will go first. I really like the idea of the nerdy wizard who's at, like, mage school, learning to be a wizard, but just is not grasping the concepts because he's just not smart enough.
Yeah.
Stumbling across a book of ancient secrets inside of the Mage Tower's library and somehow coming in contact with some great old god from this text of evil.
Ooh.
And, like, stumbling into this patron. And now you're able to fudge it through your magic classes because you're pulling on the power of your patron to cast your spells. And you play this character as someone who is a warlock, but you're trying to pass off as a wizard, as a learned scholar of
cutscene. You're a Death Eater.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love it.
Who was next? I think it was you.
Oh, man, that was fast. No, I like that idea, Dan. I wanted to talk about that for another minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Definitely Slytherin, which is what I am.
Oh, 100%. Or Hufflepuff.
Can I confess?
Guys.
Nobody out in the world is Hufflepuff.
But the Hufflepuff is the lazy one who's going to stumble across that.
Dan is Hufflepuff. Look at him.
Every time someone tells me they're a Hufflepuff,
ouch.
I want to punch him in the face for being average.
Like, Dan's Hufflepuff.
Stop. Are you decidedly Hufflepuff?
I'm decidedly Hufflepuff.
That is the... Oh my god.
They are
furious.
They are the heart and soul of Hogwarts.
Shut the god. I would bully you so much as a Slytherin.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the high school experience for a young man.
I gotta confess something. I'd be a Death Eater so fast.
We know that. We talked about. Anyway, you guys went to Harry Potter with this, and I'm sitting there going, Saruman?
Yeah,
guys, that's right.
Actually,
there it is. So
we went the wrong way.
You guys did
completely.
I'm baffled. How do people know what wizarding school they are? Everyone says this, and I have no freaking idea.
You do an online test.
There's an online test for this?
Oh, yeah.
I saw a meme once I thought was fantastic, which is actually where Titus's last name came from, that said that the Old Spice scents are the American wizarding houses, because it's like Hawkridge and like Kraken Dick or whatever it's called and all that stuff. But anyway, love it.
I just Hawkridge,
How
like
do you decide?
Eagle's crest.
I'm looking mine up on my phone. You guys keep talking.
Because I'm ambitious. I'm not afraid to cheat, and I'll probably
So
side with the people I think are going to win.
So the American side of that is you're a Kraken dick.
I would probably be the Kraken one as well for
Yeah.
American. Yeah, ever since Adam mentioned that idea about the cult of the Kraken, it's embedded in my brain for something, for a campaign. Anyway, my turn.
Yeah.
An idea. I like the idea of someone taking power from a patron out of pure desperation, not from ambition. Something's coming after their family, or their little girl is dying or something, and they're reaching out to anyone, and the devil appears. A devil, not the devil. Maybe the devil. I don't know. And
Asmodeus himself appears.
Yes. Yeah, you had nothing better to do. Shouldn't you be fighting a blood war? I don't know.
This conversation is on a timer because all of the angels are coming. All of them. All of the angels
So
are
the
coming.
idea is of, you work for me and blah, 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 and all of the things that come with selling your soul, but out of pure desperation, you need to take this.
You look at this like a crossroads devil or a crossroads demon, where it's like absolute desperation.
Yeah.
Like, I need to sell my soul.
Often, 99% of the time, I guess, traditional D&D, it's out of selfish ambition.
It is, yeah. They are markedly ambitious as a class.
And they're leaning towards evil, and we touched on it earlier. I said, what about a completely selfless act where you are sacrificing your soul for somebody that needs help?
Yeah. Adam, what you got?
Okay. So I got 3.
Okay.
And I got to start right off with, I dislike the warlock that seeks out the patron. I want the patron that seeks out a messenger. It's like, hey, I will give you some of this power to do this thing for me. These are pacts. It's a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
So I came up with 3. First and foremost, backstory, my character's been having dreams for the last year, and the dreams are becoming more intense, and I always see the same figure in the dreams. Whoever that figure is, whoever your patron ends up being, is appearing to you in dreams, and you just become so convinced, so aware that of what they want. You can hear their voice whispering during the day and whatnot. And finally you say, okay, you know what? I will do your bidding. Right? I think that's fantastic. Did you guys ever see Death Note?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
it's an anime.
It isn't an anime.
It's a scene enemy?
A scene enemy?
Yeah. But that guy's a warlock, right? Like,
100%.
he gets his book. He's back to the Tome, I guess.
Yeah.
He gets his book from this god of death, right? Like, so anyway, but I like the idea of it kind of finds you. And I like the idea of being slowly driven and saying, I'm trying to remember, like, I've seen so many horror movies where it's like, that they see the devil in their dreams, and then like the walls start to bleed, but no one else can see it, and on and on and on. And then take the movie The Witch, and finally, the girl says, you know what, fine, I'm just going to go become a part of the coven. And then she gets her powers.
Yeah.
That's Warlock to me, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first one. The second one is, I want you to have the big bad evil guys show up in like session 2, and the player and the DM have to be on the same page as this. Terry's going to sound really familiar. And they're going to show up and they're just going to kick the ass of everybody there. And then they turn to the one player who's like a fighter, and they say, hey, you know what?
Hello.
They say, hey, you know what? I will spare your party, and I will give you this great weapon, and I'm going to give you this power that comes from me, but I will call on you in the future, and you have to do a thing for me. And if they agree, the next time they level, they take a level of Warlock.
This is what we did almost with my character in your campaign with Lockie, where...
Well, Titus did it too. Titus got a suit of armor for it from an imp.
And I actually also did receive a weapon as well later on.
Yeah.
And what did I name that weapon, Adam?
Craig. Fuck my life. All right, but yeah, and you did it with
the Green Lady.
The Green Lady, who was the embodiment of Mother Nature, or so you thought at first. Turned out she was a hag. So,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
So,
Yeah.
God damn. And anyways, my third one, and this one, you guys are gonna like groan at this, and I don't mean this as a joke. It's gonna sound like a joke at first, but
It's going Sith.
But no. I think that because I'm talking about eternal souls, right? Marriage. What if you got married to an archfey and you didn't know that she was archfey or he was archfey?
But you made a deal, right?
But
a pact.
yeah, but you say, I give my soul to you forever, and it's part of your vows, right? And then they reveal to you on the wedding night, hey, you know what? You are one of my husbands or wives or whatever it is.
That's brilliant.
Now go out and do my bidding.
I really like that, but I would like to point out that you could go many different directions with that type of character as well, because Archfey, that's not necessarily an evil thing.
No, I mean, you could...
But, like, if an Archdevil does this, a great old one, you just accidentally married Cthulhu.
That's a different kind of anime, and we'll talk about that in another podcast.
Tentacles, all the tentacles.
So, but no, I think that would be a really good way in backstory. So for level 1, you're like, hey, how did you get your power? And I mean, you tell the story like Tyrion told the story about his wife, right? Where like, I was fooled into this shit, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't, and like, he gained his bitterness. Imagine gaining your power from the fact that I was in love when I was 17, and she was the most beautiful elven woman in the whole world. And then I found out that she was a shape changer, and she actually had these powers. And so I go out into the world, and I have to freaking pray to her, or I have to invoke her magic. I get more and more by doing her bidding. And I'm just one of her many husbands, right? Because you think about Lolth. I know that she's a demon, but like that would be a fantastic hook to drag somebody in, right?
Yeah.
So
I love that.
I really like that too. That's really cool.
I like that, man.
I was going to bring up the fact that a lot of these seem that the patron is a lord over the kind of weak, the frail, the nothing, the subservient warlock themselves. I would want to flip that on the head as well. And I mentioned Sith earlier, and go more Master Apprentice. Because your patron doesn't necessarily have to be deific. You could have like an angel type thing. If you go celestial, have a literal angel or an Empyrean or something. And you go Master Apprentice with it. And you have your patron is trying to build you up to be his replacement because he knows he's on his way up.
I like that. I would go Sith so fast as well.
Yeah.
You guys probably be shocked.
I would go like some sort of avatar of some god.
Oh, no, I just mean me, Terry, in real life.
Terry would. I would also go some sort of avatar of some god. Okay. Right? Like,
But, okay, so, hold on. I think that works really well, especially for an angel or an archdevil. It's interesting that it's angel, right? Like, you can have a deva who's a CR8 angel, but it has to be an archdevil. You can't pray to a pit fiend.
No.
Yeah,
that's just a little weird. Like, you can't pray to a satyr.
But you can,
right?
but you can have a unicorn as a patron.
Yeah, right. So that seems a little strange for me. But I'm thinking about celestials and archdevils and whatnot. What if they're grooming someone for the afterlife?
Yeah.
Right? You're going to come and you're not going to come in at the base level lost soul in the afterlife. You're not crossing the river Styx. When you die, I will come grab your soul and lift you right up into the role of a CR-17 devil instead of you having to work your way up from like a Lemure and up to the ranks, right?
Well, I look at this as well and I go, what if your patron is grooming you not to be a level 20, but to be like a level 13 warlock so you could get plane shift? And it's to bring them out of this demi-plane prison that they're stuck in.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you have demi-plane too.
You have demi-plane too, right? Like, why is that not a plot thread that you could use as a
you
dungeon
could even
master
have a patron that for whatever reason is heavily weakened.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of what you're leaning
on,
right?
Well,
but,
I mean, if we're talking
weakened or imprisoned or
if
something.
If we're talking cult of the Kraken, right, and we're talking Cthulhu, the great old one, that makes perfect sense. I mean, go look at Cthulhu. He's trying to get people to awaken the evil. Like, that's what warlocks are, right? They're cult leaders.
Yeah.
Right? They're out there to bring whoever it is into the prime material plane.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Any other interesting hooks before we move on to commercial, boys?
Apparently, my house is a Sailor Mars. I don't know what that means. Did I take the wrong quiz?
You took the wrong quiz.
Okay, I'll keep working.
Yeah.
Again, I don't. I know what you're referring to.
I just look at it because like there's several key traits.
I know what anime you're referring to, but I don't know.
I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Like, we should get Shanna down here and get her on the microphone to tell us what each of the traits of each house. I mean, you're British. You probably know second nature, right?
That's right. That's why I also know that his name is Harry Potter, not Harry Potter. So.
Yikes. So, like, with your Gryffindors...
I'm also not keen on the fact that you people pronounce Lara Croft as Laura Croft, but we'll get to that later on.
Isn't it Lara Croft?
It's Lara,
Lara.
But I hear Laura all the time, and it drives
No,
me insane.
Laura is with a U.
I know. I've said this several times.
We're with you on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we're not cheese-eating Americans, but...
we love them.
I am also a Yellow Ranger.
Okay.
I'm on the wrong website.
So you got a bow and arrow then. All right, cool.
I would have been the Green Ranger so fast.
Or is it the Pink Ranger that has the bow and arrow?
What was the Green Ranger thing?
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Ocarina. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
That was it, right?
And then Mecha Godzilla came in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Power Rangers, you
Yeah.
fucking nerd. Power Rangers.
Yeah. Also,
Can we cut to commercial?
Yes, we'll cut to commercial.
This episode is brought to you by WildBot3D.com. Condition markers, spell trackers, AoE templates, scatter terrain, and much more. Proudly made in Georgia and personally packaged and shipped worldwide. That's WildBot3D, your home for quality 3D printed tabletop gaming accessories and terrain. Visit WildBot3D.com to purchase your new favorite accessories today. WildBot3D.com. Wowbot.
All right, so now I want to talk about the subclasses. These are going to be, for our purposes at the very least, your patrons. And based off a listener request, we are going to be basing we're going to be going over the Hex Blade, the Celestial, and the Undying patrons. The Hex Blade and the Celestial are found in Xanathar's, and the Undying is found in Skag.
what is Skag, Dan?
Sword Coast Adventures Guide.
Okay.
All right, so before we jump into this, though, the reason I was just giving you those steamy eyes was because I wanted you to let me jump in real quick. I'm trying to make sure that everybody knows what the class-specific spells are, what the spell list is for each one of the classes, and only those. So there are 6 Warlock-only spells. Of course, you can get them through Bard, and there are other means to get these, but they are, in no particular order, Eldritch Blast, Armor of Agathis, Arms of Hadar, Hellish Rebuke, Hex, and Hunger of Hadar.
Yeah.
You can't get them through any other class standard, by the books.
Yeah.
So.
And it should be noted, your spells as a Warlock, your spell slots, you only get 2 spell slots, but they level up. Those spell slots become 5th level. So if you've chosen Armor of Agathis as a 1st level spell, you now, when you cast it, when you have your 5th level spells, are casting that spell as a 5th level spell, right? And your spell slots will always automatically level. That's one of the benefits of them. They're always max level, right? So that all of those spells are fantastic as well. Arms of Hadar is a grasping, hentai tentacle porn kind of thing.
Every time you got to take us to the dark place.
Did you just speed say hentai tentacle porn?
Yes, I did. It's grasping shadows is what it is, right?
It doesn't sound like what you're grasping. Fuck me.
You're worse than us. You are.
You really are.
You're worse
Deep
than
down,
us.
yes.
You're just
worse
playing
than
the
us.
pepperine in the all natural 20s. Terry and I are sitting here trying to have a PG-13 conversation.
Indeed. I'm trying to have a cup of PG tips. That's a tea cup.
All right, so now we will move on after we've gone over the spells there. We will talk about our subclasses. I've got the Hexblade, Terry,
Celestial.
and Adam.
I took the Undying.
Okay.
Which Adam is. I'm
He will never
Celestial.
die, and it's a sad part in my life. So
It's violence. She's just violent.
Yep.
you bring that out of me. So grab your dice, let's roll, and
Let's grab
see
them.
who gets to cover their...
Grab these dice. Let's roll these things. Ooh, see ya.
Terry hit both of us.
yes!
We were a 16 and a 17, and then Terry hit us to a 6 and a 7, and you got your 9. So you
Yep.
got to go first.
Exactly. Double teamed you guys. Pounded you from both ends. We got a 7 and a 6, and I rolled a 9 because I had knocked your dice.
It's because I opened the floodgates on this one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. That means I
I'm
get to
just
go
a
first.
victim here.
I get to go first.
You're never the victim.
Dan-
You're always the instigator.
Dan, I'm actually trying to speak, so I need you just...
Oh, is it really annoying when people overtalk you? Is it really annoying when someone derails your train of thought?
Oh, fuck, I'm Batman.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, shut up. I'm talking about the Celestial... But don't fist bump in front of the microphone. How dare you? How dare you? The Celestial. Okay, a little bit different with this one because we were talking before about how Warlock... Traditionally, you're kind of leaning towards the evil side, but now your patron is someone from the upper plane. So we're talking like some sort of angel or solar, or maybe like a unicorn or something like that. And so it suggests that you would have more of a good nature. You lean towards the good sort of alignment when you took this. So why? I guess we'll talk about this later. Why would you essentially give away your soul or make a deal for something more good natured? But I got ideas about that. Okay, so. I want to go through the Celestial features, and then I'll talk about the spells which are specific to them, and then I'll go through what they get as part of their subclass. Okay, so Warlock level 1, you get an expanded spell list with the Celestial spells, which we'll go to in a second. You get bonus cantrips, and you get Healing Light. Healing Light we'll go through later on. So for the spells that you get, kind of cleric-y, so we're getting at first level, we're getting spell level Cure Wounds and Guiding Bolt. You have access to second level spell, Flaming Sphere, Lesser Restoration. Third level spells, Daylight, Revivify. Fourth level, Guardian of Faith, Wall of Fire. Fifth level, Flame Strike, and Greater Restoration.
Wall of Fire is weird.
No, well, it's not for a Warlock.
Not for Warlock, but like you're getting all of these cleric spells. It's like it's leaning towards. We talked about like light clerics and how you get all these fire spells with light clerics. It's leaning towards your patron is going to be towards that.
Yeah, I was thinking about this before, and I was thinking about like what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, and like there's a lot of just like cleansed with fire shit in kind of the good aligned celestial type of. I think it tracks. If it was cold damage, I would raise more of an eyebrow.
Yep. Bonus cantrips, you also get Light and Sacred Flame. So, there you go.
This also allows your Warlock to be a healer. Yeah. Which is fantastic. They are one of 2 arcane classes that get Cure Wounds.
Subclasses?
Well, subclasses, yes. But your Bards and your Warlocks gain access to...
Divine Soul.
Oh, yeah, I guess Divine Soul as well.
Yeah, so there's 3.
There's 3. So just not wizards. Haha, wizards.
Oh no, Rangers are... That always confused me. Rangers are
divine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me go through their abilities here, because some of these I think will surprise you. Okay, Healing Light. So at first level, you gain the ability to channel celestial energy to heal wounds. You have a pool of d6s that you spend to fuel this healing. The number of dice in the pool equals 1 plus your Warlock level. And as a bonus action, you can heal 1 creature you can see within 60 feet of you, spending dice from the pool. The maximum number of dice you can spend at once equals your Charisma modifier, minimum of 1 on the die. Roll your dice. Roll the dice you spend, add them together, and restore a number of hit points equal to the total. Your pool regains all expended dice when you finish a long rest. Okay. Healing pool. You get to heal some people. We're kind of cleric-y at this point. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, that's lay on hands as well, right?
Same type idea, right?
Yeah. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it is long rest when the Warlock is so built towards the short rest.
Well, so built towards the short rest, yeah. I would agree, and
it still has Cure Wounds.
Went with that. Yeah.
It still has Cure Wounds, yeah. But like... This is another one of those powers that you kind of lines up with like key and superiority dice and stuff like that, and all of those gain the ability to be regenerated at a short rest. These don't.
I wonder what the argument is.
Was lay on hands long rest or short rest?
Oh look.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll go through these while you do that, Dan. We'll get David to do it.
David.
It's because he's from Quebec. David.
That explains so much about his character.
He looks a little freaking French.
Okay, alright, next one. Let's do Radiant Soul. Starting at 6th level, your link to the Celestial allows you to serve as a conduit for radiant energy. You have resistance to radiant damage, and when you cast a spell that deals radiant damage or fire damage, you can add your Charisma modifier to 1 radiant or fire damage roll of that spell against one of your targets.
Are these guys just like ASMR groupies?
Yeah, it kind of feels
pretty
like that,
much,
right?
yeah.
It all depends on what your backstory is going to be, but I feel like clerics we know are blessed with their power. I feel like this is like a request. I was saying before about desperation. I kind of have a thing that I'll talk about later on, but they are definitely requesting this power for for selfless reasons.
And I look at your angels and various divine powers that you see in things like Good Omens and Supernatural, where they are angels and they tout that line that they are for the greater good, but they're maybe not necessarily nice people. Yeah. Right? And you're going to get a lot of that.
You need to watch Preacher, my friend.
And Preacher as well.
Yeah, they're like long-term nice, not short-term nice. Okay? Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm sorry this is inconvenient for you. I got bigger things to deal with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Thanos.
Okay, let's get to... yeah, good guy.
I'd like to point out your Lay on Hands is a long rest.
Oh, there we go.
That's probably why. I think that that healing pool, I think, is a long rest.
There we go, pallies. Good job. All right, let's get to the good stuff. Celestial Resilience. Starting at 10th level, you gain temporary hit points whenever you finish a short or long rest. These temporary hit points... Are you listening?
Yes,
I'm very much listening.
These temporary hit points equal your Warlock level plus your Charisma modifier. Additionally, choose up to 5 creatures you can see at the end of your rest. Those creatures each gain temporary hit points equal to half your Warlock level plus your Charisma modifier. Pretty much any time you have a nap, you just automatically give temporary hit points to your whole party.
Yeah, you fart temporary hit points.
Yeah, this really does feel like a paladin in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a good alternative. If you don't want to be a cleric or a paladin, you want to go the arcane route.
Because on top of this, you get things like Eldritch Blast, and you're still getting your normal Warlock spells on top of it.
I can see how you would make this character interesting. I feel like,
What pact would you go with this? I'm leaning heavily towards like a Pact of the Tome, where you've got your, and Adam's going to call me out for being a power gamer, but you've got your
power gamer.
You've got your Warlock arcane spells, and then you're pulling some of your Cleric and Paladin out of this, and then your Pact of the Tome, so you're pulling Druid as well. So now you could just cast all of the spells.
Yeah, I don't think like you though, because you think heavily mechanically. I just think of what I think is
sometimes
cool.
Yeah.
So I would still do this and probably still go Hex Blade, but then that just means I've just become yet again a War Cleric.
I mean Pact of Blade, Hex Blade, something different.
Sorry, Pact of Blade. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But then I feel like once again I've just become like a War Domain Cleric, but I've just done it in a different way. It's like I'm slicey, lighty.
I would totally pick up Pact of the Chain, but what kind of like low level Celestial can I have as a familiar, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for, and you'd have to. This is a homebrew scenario because it's not one of the main 4 options.
Yeah, you only get the 4 options in stock rules.
Cherub.
So
is that the angels?
Yeah, but those don't exist in the. I mean, the Deva is the lowest angel, and it's a CR8, right? So I mean, a unicorn, but even unicorns are
higher than that. Yeah, well, not higher than that, but they're not low level.
Yeah, they're not CR1, which is the rest of them. I mean, I guess I'd go pseudo dragon. I mean,
they just go metallic or something.
Yeah,
actually, that's a good idea.
Sure, that suits me just fine, I guess.
All right, cool. Okay, listen to this one. This one is called Searing Vengeance.
So Cuddles. This sounds like a very,
Dan?
warm... Sorry.
Starting at 14th level, the radiant energy that you channel allows you to resist death. When you have to make a death saving throw at the start of your turn, you can instead spring back to your feet with a burst of radiant energy. You regain hit points equal to half your hit point maximum, and then you stand up if you choose to. Each creature of your choice that is within 30 feet of you takes radiant damage equal to 2d8 plus your charisma modifier, and is blinded at the end of the current turn. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it again until the end of a long rest. So basically,
if you get that at 14th level.
If you are knocked unconscious, instead of rolling saves, you just choose to stand up, automatically blind the thing in front of you, and then cause damage to everything else within 30 feet of you. Radiant damage as well, which most things...
Which now you're also adding your charisma to that as well.
Yeah.
What was your druid thing that did this too? That summoned animals. Your druid.
That was the giant snakes that come out.
Yeah, that's
really cool.
Yeah, this seems like another one of these
shepherds.
So Slytherin.
Yeah. So when you go down, when you get 0 hit points, you don't, and nasty shit happens to the person that knocked you down. This feels pretty high powered.
Yeah. It's 14th level, right?
Your zealot barbarian is going to have something along these lines as well.
Yeah.
Right.
But. Yeah, I like this.
I like it too. It's great, but it's early. You get it so...
Is it overpowered?
I think it's overpowered just because of when you get it. At level 14...
Also, the automatic blindness. There's no save on that. That creature is automatically blinded.
Yeah, but at level 14, you're also fighting a lot of things that are just immune to blindness. right? They're immune to blindness, deafness because they either don't have eyes or use external senses.
But I feel like this is a character you may use if you're in an undead campaign, and so if the vampire knocks you down, that's pretty fucking good. What happens to them? Yeah.
I don't think that this is necessarily overpowered. Now that I'm thinking about it, what are you fighting at CR14? Keeping in mind that this is a player's game, so any DM worth his salt is giving you CR15 and 16 creatures. We're talking vampires. We're talking Nalfeshne, right? Like we've got some pretty decent bad guys. Hitters. Yeah, these guys are going to knock you down, and they may be blind, but they're rolling with disadvantage. They still got a plus 14 to hit.
Yeah,
right. They're going to hit you again.
The thing is, you also stand up with half your total hit points. Right. As well on top of it.
But you're also doing damage to every creature around you. And if you've gone Pact of the Blade on this, you're in the melee. The Paladin's taking that damage. The Fighter's taking that damage.
You know what? Actually, Pact of the Blade would be good for this. Yeah, you're right. For that reason. Very hard to knock down. Love it.
Yeah. But, I mean, you're going to be a liability to your party as well, right?
Yeah.
So they hit you, knock you down, you blow up, you stand up, the rest of your party's down, and you just fuck off.
Do you know what? What is it? Half orcs have that orcish trait.
Yeah, they get.
So how about this?
Orc ferocity or.
So how about this? Okay, so you get knocked to 0 hit points, Dan. You're a half orc. You go down, but you don't roll death saves. You automatically come back up. You have what? 1 hit point. So now we're going to knock you down again. The second time I knock you down, you're still coming back up, but now you're causing me damage.
Yeah. No. Now you're standing up, and snakes have popped out. The next time we knock you down, you stand up because you've cross-classed between Druid and Warlock, and so now you're just blowing up everyone in the... We could keep doing this.
Throw in Zealot Barbarian as well, and now you're getting back up as well.
Back up again.
Your orc name is Chumbawamba.
Yes! I love this. I love this. It's such a one-shot thing to do. It's just so one-shot.
Topic 3 was going to be characters you want to build, and I want this to be my character now.
Chumbawamba, the half-elf druid, half-orc celestial druid class.
You mix relentless endurance with your Circle of the Shepherd, with your Zealot Barbarian. Like, you're just... even as a druid, you go, you start the fight as a bear or something. So you get knocked down as a bear, and then you stand up with your full hit points as a...
Oh my god, and your DM fucking hates you.
Like, you are unkillable.
You have, as a random encounter, you stumbled upon the meeting of liches.
Yeah, exactly.
All of them.
And that's what you get for being a multi-class hole. Which is what they're called.
I will wave that flag proudly. So that's all 14 levels. Are you done there? But
I'm done. I think that's everything we need to do.
So you've got your Bible camp level character here with your Celestial. I'm going to go the other end of things and go your goth emo kid and pull up the Hex Blade.
Sure, I feel like we got opposite ones.
We kind of got opposite ones.
I should have
got the Bible camp kid.
Oh god, the campaign's still out, by the way, to find Terry a goth girlfriend. So if anyone has any suggestions, send them my way.
The Hex Blade is what I'm going to cover here. The Hex Blade is a patron that is a mysterious entity from the Shadowfell that has manifested itself to you as a weapon.
The Shadowfell entities are one of the most poorly defined things in D&D. They are like archdevils, but nobody knows what the fuck they are. They're just beings of shadow and darkness that live beyond the mists. And it's such a pain in the ass to actually have to
dragging Patrick Swayze down the street. Not Patrick Swayze, the other
guy. There is one well defined Shadowfell entity that you could pull from, and they kind of mention it.
David Strayed.
Pardon?
Strayed.
No, not Strahd. No.
Pretty sure his name is Strayed, Dan. He strayed from the path of good.
I'm just imagining running through like the dark, depressive, like Shadowfell Barovia campaign.
Well, hey there, Strayed. How you doing today?
My name is Lord Strayed von Zarelvik.
No.
I climbed down from the goddamn Smoky Mountains, jumped out a fucking airplane.
No, it's von Zarovich is the one that I've heard online.
Okay.
Zarovich.
No.
What did you guys call it?
We called it was the main city, which was Vallaki.
Okay.
Man.
Also, I listened to Dice Camera Action and heard Chris Perkins himself pronounce it 3 different ways. So, So
it's like I mentioned earlier with like Bible names. You just start it strong and hope for the best, right?
Jesus.
That's where it comes from. But one of the best Shadowfell entities that they've defined is the Raven Queen herself.
Yeah.
And there is a theory that the Raven Queen is the one who has forged these weapons.
The ultimate goth girlfriend.
And that the Hex Blades are actually her servants in the material world. And that you are specifically doing the Raven Queen's will as a Hex Blade.
I didn't know that. I love that, actually.
Yeah, it's a really cool twist on it. I would like to point out that your Hex Blades are all about their weapon. You gotta understand that if you're playing a Hex Blade.
Well, she's a goddess, right? So you can't have her as your patron.
No, she's not a goddess.
The Raven Queen isn't? I thought she was a
No,
goddess.
well, she's like a...
She's like in between. She fluctuates. She's the watcher of the threads of life, is what she does.
Right.
Yeah, she's like Mother Nature, or I guess I would classify her as a Great Old One, almost, right?
Almost, yeah. Well, I would classify her as a goddess, but she's kind of on that lesser tier where she's far more approachable than, say, your Ios.
She's the goddess who's got a job. The gods that got jobs are like, well, come on, you're not making the decisions around here, are you?
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. That seems weird to me because Shatter Kai would be like a major factor in your campaign then, right?
Why not, right? Pull from that. If you've got a Hexblade Warlock, pull a Shatter Kai. Why not?
Exactly. Pull from Cobra Kai.
Adam, what a Shatter Kai for Terry's benefit.
They're the Raven Queen's goth minions.
Oh.
They're the emo kids of D&D.
I would definitely be
joining. They are the scene kids of D&D.
What do they call it? Shatter Kai?
Yeah.
I'd probably join this as well. I would also join Cobra Kai Dojo. But
anyways, so your Hexblade, you are going to get your expended spell list, which all these patron lists do. They will all give you an expended spell list.
Oh my god.
There it is. I got one.
It's getting better though.
You get your Hexblade's Curse, and you get Hex Warrior at 1st level. At 6th level, you get your Accursed Specter. At 10th level, you get your Armor of Hexes. And 14th level, you get your Master of Hexes.
Is there anything else that has the word hex in it?
Pretty much everything.
Hex
you are basically carrying a neon sign through your
16th
campaign
level,
saying, I will hex you.
16th level is you get a Hex's Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
That was a hex of a lot of things.
Yeah. No. For your expended spell list, you at 1st level are going to get Shield and Wrathful Smite. Gee, I wonder where they're lining you up to be standing. 2nd level, you get Blur and Branding Smite. Really hitting that point home. At 3rd level, you get Blink and Elemental Weapon.
I fucking love Blink.
I love Blink as well. 4th level, you get Phantasmal Killer. Nice. And Staggering Smite.
Phantasmal Killer sounds like a really shit band. It would be like one of those like weird sounds.
It's Resnor's side project.
And at 5th level, you get Banishing Smite. So you're getting a smite pretty much every level except for 3rd level, where you get Elemental Weapon instead.
So 3rd level spells. Not at
spells.
3rd level. So except at 5th level. So you're going to get a 1, 3, 7, 9, right?
Yeah. You also have Brandishing Smite at 5th level spells. And you get Cone of Cold as well. So
nice.
That's where your Cone of Cold's coming in. So they're really kind of trying to hit home that you are a melee.
What smites do you get?
You get Wrathful, Branding, Staggering, and Banishing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get the spell smites, which you cast as a bonus action in your next attack.
This is another one that feels like it's bordering on Paladin, like obviously.
Yeah,
with the smites. Yeah. But I feel like we're hitting that a lot. Whereas the Player's Handbook ones, and we're not talking about those today, but those are bordering on your Sorcerer and like your Druid, maybe even a little bit with the Great Old One. This all feels very Paladin and Cleric to me.
It does. It very much does. The only thing that's kind of different is a Paladin could smite for days, but you have to expend your very limited pool of spell slots to cast these things. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get off one of these a battle.
Bitch ass smite.
Right?
Yeah, but how often do you need to get them off?
We're moving on. So you get your Hexblade's Curse. Thank you, Adam.
I don't think that was very clear.
No.
Adam was actually talking about...
So you get Hexblade's Curse, which is basically straight up... I was trying to push through it. I was
Yeah,
trying
but
so
you gotta, I know
hard to
push
push
through.
through
Be
it.
breaking your sentence.
It's like an orc ghost. It becomes like an orc phantasm. That's you get your orgasm.
Yeah, there's going to be a point where you open your mouth, and that's where I get you.
Yep, just comes on out, doesn't it?
Come on, Dan.
Name of all of your
Come
sex
on.
tapes. No, I'm not playing that game with you.
This just left a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah, yes, it did. I need a gargle. Yeah, it's semen. As a bonus action, you can see within 30 feet of you. The target is cursed for 1 minute. The curse will end. I'm just going to steamroll through. The curse ends early if the target dies. You die, of course, or you are incapacitated. Until the curse ends, you gain the following benefits. I freaking love Hexblade's curse because of this.
Yeah, I like it too.
You gain bonus to damage roll against the cursed target equal to your proficiency bonus. So if you're doing that thing we talked about earlier where you are getting your charisma as damage, you're getting your double charisma as damage because you got the right invocation, and now you're adding your proficiency to damage as well.
Don't forget to actually cast Hex on that creature as well.
Yeah, and it's as a bonus action. This is like Hex on speed.
Yeah.
The spell Hex, and you could do it as a feature.
That's what I did with Titus when I remodeled him. Yeah.
You crit on a roll of 19 or 20 on your Hexblade cursed target.
Oh my god, get it.
Right? And if your target dies, you regain hit points equal to your Warlock level plus your Charisma modifier.
And I always forgot to do that, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, you cannot use this feature again until you finish a short rest. That changes. And I'll explain why in a minute. You also at first level gain your Hex Warrior, and this is what is allowing you to necessarily arm yourself for battle in melee. You get proficiency with medium armor shields and martial weapons straight out the gate. Whenever you finish a long rest, you could touch one weapon that you're proficient with and lacks the two-handed property, so they're really enforcing that it's the one-handed weapon here. When you attack with that weapon, you use your charisma modifier instead of strength or dexterity for attack and damage rolls.
Yeah, like if you want to be a super sexy goth fighter, this is what
I do.
Well, then multi-class hole into this because it'll work.
Yeah. This benefit lasts until you finish a long rest, at which point you just renew it. Because why not? Basically, every single long rest, you touch a weapon that you're proficient with and you get that ability with it. So you just choose the same weapon for your bookkeeping purposes. If you go down at third level and you choose Pact of the Blade, this benefit extends to every Pact weapon you conjure. So if you are conjuring your heavy crossbow, everything's now charisma with it, right? And
how can you charismatically fire a crossbow? Sideways?
No.
yeah, you do the kill shot.
No, it's you look across the person, like you look across the battlefield at the person, you lock eyes, you just give them a "What's up?"
And then you shoot them right in the face,
and then you just your finger twitches, just "What's up?"
Yeah,
that's it. That's all it is.
At 6th level, you get your Cursed Specter. This is where you pull the Specter, literal spirit of the creature you cursed. With your, actually it's just any single creature you kill, you could pull this Spectre out to serve, as, a minion to follow you around. So, basically the way it's written, whenever you slay a humanoid, it's gotta be a humanoid, you cause its spirit to rise from the corpse as a Spectre, as a literal Spectre, from the monster manual, the Spectre. When it appears, it gains temporary hit points equal to half your Warlock level. You also roll for initiative for the Spectre, which has its own turns. It obeys your verbal commands, and gains special bonus to its attack rolls equal to your charisma modifier. So this thing is just a beefed up Spectre that will follow you around. But
it's the original creature as well.
Well, it's the Spectre stats from the monster manual with these on top of it.
Right, but
it is the soul of that original creature as well, yes.
Right, but does it have, my question is, do they have all their memories and everything? Like, if you command it, tell me who killed you, do you just have auto speak?
Yeah, actually.
I don't think Spectres can speak. I think they're the ghosts that can't speak.
Manual.
So we'll look that up. David, get to that while I continue on. Once you bind a Spectre with this feature, you can't use it again until a long rest. And this Specter lasts until you hit your long rest, at which point it disappears to the afterlife. So you get this for the day.
That's super creepy, though. If as a DM, I'd be trying to creep my players out, describing the thing that you've just killed is now following it. Because I imagine the Warlock would be okay with that, because that's just what they do. But the rest of the party might be freaked out. I don't imagine the Paladin would be too cool about that. But whatever.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
So, David, how you doing over there with that monster manual?
He's just playing with himself.
Oh, for the love. Adam, can you get this for him?
Yeah, it understands all languages.
It was just Quebec Day as well. Happy Quebec Day.
I don't know what just happened there. They understand all languages that they knew in life, but they cannot speak.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they can sign language, then they're going to be able to answer. But like, hey, who killed you? It just points.
Well, if it's, hey, who killed you, they point at you. Because you have to be the one that kills them.
Oh, okay.
To pull this out.
All right.
Okay.
But, I mean, like, where is the gem hidden, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're still getting your
and it's within a day, because the second you hit that long rest, they are disappearing.
Did you know that they have, Terry, you'll love this, they have the ability to have a telekinetic thrust? I know you'd like that.
Oh, we call that a tribute wank in my country, but sure.
And then do you suffer from life drain?
At 10th level, your Hexblade Warlock is going to get Armor of Hexes.
Everybody.
It's when your Hex is going to grow more powerful. Your Hexblade's curse grows more powerful. If the target of your Hexblade curse hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to roll a d6. On a 4 or higher, the attack misses you, regardless of its roll. So once per turn, because you only get your one reaction a turn, if your Hexblade's cursed target attacks you and hits you with a weapon, you roll a d6. On a 4 or higher, it misses. Straight up. Doesn't matter what that roll is.
Huh. That's like some Warhammer type stuff, right?
Yeah. This is incredibly powerful, especially considering there is no save for your Hexblade's curse. You just apply it. Right? So, you put this on your big bad. There's no reason why not. Put it on the big guy.
Yeah. Well, you guys will do it once a day anyway. Put it on a squirrel if you want.
Yeah. It's really engineering your Hexblades as being the guys who wade through the minions to the big guy.
Yeah.
And their sole focus is the big guy who's commanding everybody.
Yeah.
That's what they're kind of building them towards. They're not there for the chaff. They're there for the end goal. At 14th level, so this is going to be on par with the Searing Vengeance thing that you had in yours. You can spread your Hexblade curse from a slain creature to another creature. So you are able to move your Hexblade's curse from creature to creature. The only negative is you won't be able to regain those hit points.
Bonus action to do it? Or...
It's still a bonus action to do it. When the target of your Hexblade curse dies, you can apply the curse to a different creature you can see within 30 feet of you, provided you aren't incapacitated. When you apply the curse in this way, you don't regain hit points from death. It actually doesn't say, that it will take your bonus action. It says when it dies, you can move it. So it might be a reaction or it might just be a free thing. I would, as a DM, rule it as on your next bonus action, it gets to move, much like the spell Hex. Because the spell Hex, you can move it from slain creature to slain creature as well.
Yeah.
So this kind of lines up with that.
We always just did it instantaneously, right? It feels like an interaction to me.
For Hexblade's Curse, I could see that ruling. For the Hex spell itself, it specifies.
But it's already been cast, right? And so you don't have to. You can just pop it over to wherever.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the way they've kind of flavored the Hexblade's Curse is it is a more powerful version of the Hex spell, and the Hex spell you have to use your bonus action to reattribute.
So they're just
curse.
following that same basic mechanic.
I think they're just following the same basic mechanic, and they're...
It's the rules as intended.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, DMs, do what you want. Make it as to really
honestly,
bring the fun to your table.
As a DM, if you're cool with it moving over automatically, that's fine. Just know that your player is now going to have an additional bonus action, essentially, when it gets to their turn. Because they don't have to use their bonus action to...
Exactly, yeah. And that's me for the Raven Queen worshipping Hexblade.
Do you know what, Dan? I like that.
I really do too.
Thanks for coming.
They get a lot of focus. I find Hexblades are very common Warlock patron since Xanathar's came out. I see them friggin' everywhere.
Sexy Goth Fighter, and I think they brought Sexy Goth Fighter in. And
it also pulls a lot of the multi-attribute aspect of a fighting Warlock and brings it down to all you really need is Constitution and Charisma.
Yeah,
now you don't need Strength.
I can imagine if you were going to have a lot of higher level type bad guys, like an army, like some sort of army of darkness. I can imagine them being Hexblade Warlocks, like some sort of special forces type of group. Yeah,
I'm Yoda. I found out I'm Yoda.
Oh, you're Yoda.
You're
Yoda.
Yoda house.
Yeah, I'm in the Yoda.
I'm
house.
really looking forward to the day you run out of those quizzes.
It is the internet in 2019. These quizzes have been around since Facebook hit. Right?
You're just going to start doing multiple versions.
MySpace. I think it used to be on MySpace, maybe, if anyone remembers that.
I'm second generation Red Ranger is going to be a thing we see soon.
Come on, Dan.
Which Red Ranger are you?
Don't be a nerd.
You know, we're getting awful tired of you
You
distracting us from Dungeons and Dragons, Dan.
Yep.
The Undying. I like this one because whereas before you're praying, or you're getting power, rather, you're not praying, but you're getting power from your archdevils or your celestials or your hilt, whatever Dan is playing with over there in the corner. This is about getting your power.
To call it my weapon.
Okay. Is it? Never mind.
Let's go.
Let's go. This is about getting your power from a lich. This is all about actually getting your power from a powerful... it says, from a patron who has unlocked secrets of everlasting life.
But this is Death Eater. This is Voldemort, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The once mortal, the Undying has seen mortal lifetimes pass like the seasons, like the flicker of endless days and nights. It has secrets that it's going to get from, and it even lists like from Vecna, right, as one of your possible patrons.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I absolutely love it. They've got a whole list of them here, but I'm just gonna like the Shadow King is one of them, and Lich Queens, and the Deathless Wizard. His name is. Are you ready for this?
Go.
Fist and Antulus.
No, it's not.
Fist and Antulus.
Fist and Antulus.
Yep.
Cool.
Not enough women liches out there for my liking, Dan.
There's a lot of Lich Queens.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't hear about many Lich Empresses or Lich Princesses. I want a Lich Duchess.
Queen Lich. That's what we want.
So your expanded spell list is False Life and Ray of Sickness, Blindness, Deafness, or Silence at second spell level. Third is Feign Death or Speak with Dead. Fourth is Aura of Life and Death Ward. So like at this point you're just saying, no, you don't die either. Come on back. And the fifth one is Contagion, which I like.
Nice.
Yeah, and
nice.
And Legend Lore, which is interesting because that one doesn't seem to stack at first. Then you think about the Lich that has been around forever. And you're going to understand why here in a second. Starting at first level, you immediately learn the Spare the Dying cantrip. And it counts as a Warlock cantrip for you. So you also have advantage on saving throws against any disease. People don't use enough diseases in D&D.
No, you're right, actually. I like a good disease.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Additionally, and here's my favorite part about it, at first level, so this is when you are fighting undead, right? Tier 1 is the undead tier, as a general rule. Undead have difficulty harming you. If an undead targets you directly with an attack or a harmful spell, it has to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. If it fails, it has to choose a new target or waste its attack. So if you've got enough charisma in this from level 1, you can walk into the zombies and they will just part and let you through. Mm-hmm. Which is...
And that's with spells as well?
With spells, it's a targeting spell. So if they drop a fireball and it hits everybody in an area, it's going to hit you.
Yeah.
Right? But if, like, their Eldritch Blast or their Firebolt that has to, like, hit you, if they target you, then even if there's a spell saved or to it, right? And you have to roll a saving throw, they've got to choose somebody else, right? Because you've been targeted. That is absolutely overpowered, in my opinion.
Yeah. You get it very early.
First level, right? That's absolutely insane.
So would you apply that? You would also apply that to, say, let's talk about raids for like the Undead Beholder, Zombie Beholder.
Yeah, it has to target you with it, right? Like it chooses a target. And so if though they make the save, they don't have to make it again next round. That lasts for 24 hours. So An undead is also immune to the effect for 24 hours if you target it with an attack or a harmful spell. So it won't hit you, but you can't hit it either, right? You're just supposed to be walking with the undead, which is a load of fun for me. The 6th level spell, you're Defying Death. It's called Defied Death. Starting at 6th level, you can give yourself Vitality when you cheat death, when you help someone else cheat death. You can regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your Constitution modifier when you succeed on a death saving throw. So you only have to succeed once. And then you gain hit points. Or when you stabilize a creature with Spare the Dying. You get this once a long rest. 6th level.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. 6th level. Yes.
I'm just imagining, sorry, I went quiet for a second, because I was imagining the dynamic of having this type of character alongside a necromancer in the party.
Yeah.
Like, they have just very different views on death.
Well, I was thinking about your ability, Terry. You had for the Celestial.
My personal ability.
Your ability, the way that you put your head behind your head. Sorry, I'm still doing quizzes, guys. I'm really not paying
Head
attention.
behind my head. Who, my Professor Quirrell? That was a Harry Potter reference. There,
It was Harry Podler.
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
My friggin' kills me. Hey, do you like Harry Potter?
No, you gotta really hit those T's.
You bloody
like
colonials.
Harry
It's Harry! You bloody colonial!
Harry. Am I not saying
You're
that
saying Harry!
That's
Harry!
It's because his name is Harry.
Please, oh my god. Say the word Harry.
Harry.
Now say Harry.
Harry.
Say Harry.
Harry.
Now say Harry.
Harry.
Fuck off.
So, at level, one of your 3rd level spells is Revivify, right, for the Celestial?
Yes.
So you get that at 5th level, and you're blowing a 3rd level spell slot for it. You get Spare the Dying with this, and you're healing yourself at the same time at 6th level, right? This just seems superior compared.
Yeah, but remember, if Revivified, they have to have failed their death saves and are dead.
I mean, that's fair, but also you're healing yourself as you're casting Spare the Dying. No one's ever going to fail their death
Once
saves.
per long rest, though.
That's fair.
Right? Like, it is mitigated by its once per long rest. As a once per long rest ability, that seems fairly weak for a once per long rest ability.
At level 6, how many battles are you chaining together where people are dropping?
Yeah.
If you're a warlock,
You kill people rarely.
if you're a warlock, you're hoping for a lot of short rests in between.
I run a deadly
Yes, you do.
campaign.
Yes, you do.
Right. How many times do people drop in multiple chained encounters?
Yeah. You know
Almost
what?
never.
I'd be going, if I had one of these characters, if I was DM and I had one of these guys, this type of warlock, and there was a cleric or a paladin or something in that party as well, I'm throwing the universe at this party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 6th level. At 10th level, you can hold your breath indefinitely and you don't require food, water, or sleep. You still require the rest.
You can hold your breath indefinitely.
Yep. So, and for every 10 years that pass, your body ages only 1 year. Now, that was the level 18 druid thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're getting it at level 10 as a warlock. Yeah.
And
Plus,
also-
you can hold your breath indefinitely and you don't need to sleep, so
It's
you're
another
always
one
on
of
watch.
those-
And,
I'm sitting here going, we went out of our way for weeks upon weeks in our game to find a water genasi druid to help us to stop the undead thing in the sunken city. We just need to find like 3 of these guys.
everybody just needed to cross-class into this.
Yeah,
Right.
like
So,
that's like you don't need to breathe. You could just walk through the undead, whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
you could have just fought the undead.
Just
underwater.
walked in, grabbed my daughter, and leave with no ill effect.
the 14th level is called the Indestructible Life. You partake of some of the true secrets of the Undying. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your Warlock level. So it's 1d8 plus a minimum 14, because you get this at 14th level.
Jeez.
Additionally, if you put a severed body part of yours back in place when you use this feature, the part just reattaches.
So if you get...
Is there any
if you get-
mechanical rule for disembodiment in this game?
If you get Mel's acid arrow to the dick, you can put it back on.
And you're fine.
Yep.
And you're fine.
And this is short
One of
or
your-
long rest.
Short or long rest.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that you're right. There isn't a mechanic for severed body parts unless it's homebrewed in, like our campaign was. But I think there should be.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I'm not so certain. I think that may be buried somewhere in the DMG. I would have to do a bit of a deep dive, but I've heard of this before.
We'll get David to look it up later on.
I'm
now.
not sure that he can read. He's got that look about him.
Poor David.
David.
Anyways, that's freaking ridiculously powerful. I can't...
But it's also circumstantial. If you're going into the Feywild, this is not the correct build.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if I like it. I'm not...
If you're in the Shadowfell, I'm into it. This is a Curse of Strahd.
That's a Curse of Strahd character. That's any game where it's like, okay, guys, I've been really looking at Undead. I want to play an Undead campaign. Okay, everyone's playing Paladins and Clerics. I'm playing this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this fits to me with... There was almost like they did all the player's handbook subclasses, and then they turned around and they said, you know what? We want the Grave Cleric, or what? No, what's the... is it the Death Cleric that's in the DMG? Right?
Oh, the Cleric is Eyes of the Grid? No, that's...
I think it's the Death Cleric, yeah.
Yeah, the Grave Cleric is in Xanathar's, right? But they're like... It's like they've got these extra undead things that are just kind of littered around.
Yeah.
Because I realized that there are really only 4 major subtypes of monsters that people are going to hit over and over and over again. You're not fighting plants. You're not fighting oozes. You're not fighting fae. You're hitting your dragons, your demons.
Over and over.
Yeah. You're hitting your dragons, your demons, your devils, and your undead. Right? Those are the 4 big, right? And so they've got a bunch of dragon-flavored stuff all over the place in the player's handbook. And they've got... the Warlock and some others that are devil related.
Yeah,
I feel like now with Xanathars and Sword Coasts and even the Dungeon Master's Guide, we're getting the...
Yeah, if you got 4 players, you got a Cleric, a Paladin, one of these guys, maybe even arrange your favorite enemy undead. Like that's you.
Yeah, you're waltzing through Curse of Strahd at this point, right?
Yeah.
So
you may as well just start that game and walk straight to Ravenloft.
Yes,
to be honest, don't go
walk
anywhere
straight
else.
up.
Just walk straight in.
Grab a sharpened twig on the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Cool.
That's what
All right. So now that we've broken down these subclasses, I want to move to Shoutout. Adam, who you got for us?
Well, first of all, what I want to do is I want to talk about the giveaway that we have running.
That's right.
So the giveaway that we have, you can hit us out or hit us with your answer here. We want to know which of the 3 of us is which class, which race, and which background. You can choose subclass too if you'd like. Some of the people that are writing in are. You can hit us at info@itsamimic.com. That's our email address. info@itsamimic.com. Or catch us on Twitter @itsamimicdnd. We're on Facebook. We have a Facebook page at It's a Mimic, and @itsamimic on Instagram.
Yeah.
So any of those places, drop us a line and let us know. And put it in the title that this is giveaway related, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like we hint often as well at our preferences on these things, but
yeah,
I'm interested to know what you people think.
And don't lean in. Like I've said multiple times, I like being I view myself as a half-orc barbarian. No, I want to know what you guys see me as.
A halfling.
Yeah, little man. Tripod? I'm with you. Yeah, okay.
You look like someone's cast enlarge on Locky, to be honest.
I don't have big enough mutton chops or enough scars.
Grow them. For the Halloween episode, you should grow them.
I should.
I'll come as Titus, actually.
All right. I will come as a dungeon master. I don't have my own character.
Just put your hood up on your hoodie.
No, just come as Ivan.
Ivan? I don't think I could be a Dragonbar.
No.
Maybe
also, I couldn't be a black Dragonborn. That's offensive.
For reasons, yes.
We'll be. I'm sure more visible. We'll say by that point. So maybe we'll put it out to these guys out there. They could tell us what to become for those.
I have been told beyond any uncertain terms, I am not allowed to shave the hair from my chin. So this should get interesting.
I'm glad you said chin.
That's just.
Fuck! I almost had a heart attack.
That's just Canadian law. Anyway.
No. I have a butt chin. Like I have
do you really?
I have a cleft with a divot.
Oh,
so
no,
it's
do you really?
Yeah.
You got the old Travolta.
Yeah. And my wife hates it.
Oh,
so this stays for my marital
Look like a
well-being.
Baldwin brother. They got older.
Anyways, guys, so that's as interesting as Dan's butt chin is.
Yeah.
What is this podcast? For fuck's sake.
I have no idea.
Anyway, so we do have a whole bunch of prizes. We're getting more and more prizes from more and more sponsors every day. So there's going to be one big grand prize. You know what we should do? When we're going to vote to see which answers we like the best, we're going to vote for the other person. So Terry and I will vote to see who got the best Dan answer, right? In overall, and we'll all vote. So that is what we should dress up as for Halloween.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
I'm down.
All right. Cool. I like that.
Okay. And then
I would like to just do a quick little shout out to the Lucky Rogue, who is, her name is Jackie, and she's absolutely fantastic as far as bringing the D&D community together online. Her Instagram stories are always telling everybody who the next shout out is. who the next giveaway is. Thank you. And she makes her own dice, and they're all fantastic. And she often does little videos about them and pictures, and she's like a really cool, chill person. And anytime that you tag her in one of the giveaways, and you're like, oh, tag 2 people to enter the thing, she will always wish you good luck with a little clover leaf.
Right? Which might be your ace in the hole here, because you've won how many now?
9.
9?
He's won 9 giveaways.
9.
Or are you just saying no in German?
Yeah, I'm just being German. No,
that's ridiculous. You've got a horseshoe jammed somewhere up you. That's just helping you out here. You're just going to leave me hanging on that?
He's giving us a look that suggests he might. And as though he's been busted.
Oh, crap.
Who told you?
I put it there. So, thank you, Lucky Rogue. What's her Instagram handle there?
At the Lucky Rogue. There's no underscores. There's no dots. There's nothing there.
It's Rogue, not Rouge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah. Next, real quick at the end, we have talked about what our favorite subclasses are. We've talked about the basics of the class themselves. Guys, this is the last topic here on Warlocks. I'm going to want an interesting build from each of you onto your Warlock. That said, we also have a lot of tropes and stereotypes, like we've mentioned.
Oh my god, we almost made it through an episode without you saying the word tropes.
Yeah, I brought it in the end just for you. With these builds, kind of how are you leaning into these? How are you leaning away? So let's grab the dice.
Oh, damn, that's right. I forgot we do this.
Yeah.
All right.
5.
Oh,
2.
Everybody thought it was going to go 5.
We got to re-roll, you and I.
Okay.
We tied.
Okay. Oh,
3.
So exciting.
18.
18!
You hit mine, but you didn't knock it. All right, fine.
So,
okay.
If you knock it on a reroll, does it still count?
Well, it does for me.
Oh. No, it does not.
Okay, Terry.
I'm going first.
Yes.
That's what an 18
That's what an 18 means.
You know what? I've taken a few weeks off from Dungeons & Dragons. I actually can't remember how to play this game. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't listen to any of my
Yahtzee!
Exactly. Oh, no. Okay. Interesting idea for a character build. Okay.
Terry's
Listen
sitting there
to
at the
this one.
D&D table wondering when he taps land.
I kind of have 2. Can I do 2?
You
Or
can
can I
do
do
2.
one that forks off?
You can do 2.
Okay, I'm leaning into the
I
Celestial.
don't like you to fork off.
I'm leaning into the Celestial type.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and I was talking before a little bit about someone who makes something through desperation. Makes a pact through desperation.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I imagine to save your daughter or something like that. You know,
who would do that?
These are the tropes that Dan likes to lean into and that a lot of people do, okay?
Pronounced tropey?
Troops. That was very Scottish.
David?
Okay, but, so you do it with a Celestial. Let's say Solar,
Yep.
for example, or a Deva, or something. I like the idea of becoming an agent of death, because I don't view that as evil. It's something which is necessary. So a Celestial has put that responsibility on you. You will be my agent on the material plane. I will tell you, I will send you information. I will give you a name. Here's a little orb or something, and a name is going to come in or whatever. And it is up to you to go and kill that person for non-evil reasons, but because for whatever reason, whatever gods have decided this needs to happen for whatever. So I like the idea of a reluctant agent of death, Ghost Rider type thing, but don't lean too heavily into that unless you can do a really good Nicolas Cage impression.
Ghost Rider is the perfect Warlock analog.
Right. It really is, yeah.
Yeah, but I would try to steer away. I don't want it to be as cheesy as that was made. But do you see what I'm saying? So someone who reluctantly becomes an agent of death through a celestial patron, not for evil purposes, but for necessary purposes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How are you going to fork that out?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I said I was going to fork it out. Or, because I was talking about being given names, or something like Minority Report. Celestials, right? Okay, so they're good. They're good. They want to stop evil.
So your patron is a bunch of psychics sitting in a room?
Well, maybe. Listen.
With tubes attached to their heads?
No, but they're saying, hey, you know, we work for the forces of good. You're our agent on Earth. I'm going to give you something that you need to stop. It's a race against time to go and stop it. Work with your DM on that backstory. Someone like Adam would probably love to torture somebody with that. If you have the hourglass is counting.
I would never.
Yes, you would.
Yes, you would. Gladly you would.
I don't torture you. I work with you to make interesting stories.
I should be going through therapy for having tortured me.
That is the patently false. I still wake up in cold sweats about the game we played 3 weeks ago.
So I was forking it up as Celestial Patron, Minority Port.
I don't know where you could... Apparently I'm Bobby Singer from Supernatural.
I don't watch that show. Is it good?
It's fairly decent, actually.
Oh, which True Blood character would you be?
Oh, I'll find out. I don't know anything about True Blood, but I'll type that in.
When you came in the air.
All right. The one thing I want to add with this whole Minority Report inspired character. No, this is really cool. This is really cool.
Go.
At 17th level, you get your Mystic Arcanum.
Yeah.
Give him Foresight.
Oh, shit, Dan.
Right?
Yes.
Like
Dan,
that.
do you know what this makes me think? I want to do bad things with you.
I don't get that reference, and now I'm terrified.
I'm actually suggesting that I would have coitus with
Oh, cool. Adam, next week you're sitting between us.
Who's next?
That would be me.
Okay, go.
I like. I've said it in previous podcasts as well that I really enjoy sentient weapons. I enjoy sentient magic items.
I do too.
And in the Hex Blade, it does say specifically it is a force from the Shadowfell that manifests in sentient magic weapons. So I would play heavily into this fact as a DM and a player working together to have a constant connection, a very vocal, verbal, intelligent magic item that is your patron that is drawing you on. Mm-hmm. So this is the thing that is telling you what to do. And I want to play into the trope of your character not necessarily enjoying it, but being the wielder of the instrument.
Yeah.
So very much a Frodo bringing the ring. You are bringing this sword to a location, and that's what I would do for this. And your adventuring life is to get this sword to its location.
Yeah.
To do something for the Shadowfell force that is inspiring this this connection with you.
That could be great.
Right?
Yeah.
I would even make this guy a Pact of the Chain Warlock and make your familiar a shadow of this weapon that then does things on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. So it duplicates itself and moves through as a familiar that you would get with you at all times. It's just a second disembodied version. And you get at 3rd level. So for the first 2 levels, this sword is trying to get you to do things, and you're like, well, I don't like... You're not quite as effectual as you would want to because you're level 1 and level 2. You're not going to be as beefy as you
just
can.
Walked out your farmer's field.
So eventually the weapon gets pissed off and just creates a second one that is now your familiar of itself. So now you have the 2 and one of them's floating around doing stuff. Like I thought about this really interesting kind of you are the idiot that's getting dragged along in a way. And then you are slowly proving yourself almost to be a great ally to
it would be almost like a dark spiritual weapon.
Yes.
Cleric has.
Yeah. That's the way I would run that, as a Pact of the Chain Hex Blade.
Kind of like it. I just got a really good idea for some sentient weapons. You ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The little cowboy Mexican bullets that go into the revolver?
Yeah.
Like that, but like a
belt the singing sword.
A belt of daggers. Just like that. Oh, yes.
Each one has a very distinct and different personality.
Yeah, and they're all just talking all the time.
Oh, I love it.
In your head. That would be a wicked cursed item.
Absolutely.
It's one item because it's like a belt of the daggers. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam, what you got? Other than...
I'm Eric, apparently. What does that mean for True Blood?
Oh, you're getting laid.
All right, let me do it.
It means all of the good genes that ever existed went into you. Yeah.
Nice. I need some good
I feel like I should watch True Blood, but it
it could have been really good, but it went really cheesy. Could have been good. It could have been everything.
Did it just stay too long? Look, Dan's gonna like it. He played Vampire Masquerade.
I did, and I love Joe
They could have gone
Joe Manganiello, and I love Deborah Ann.
They could have gone kind of dark with it, but they went a bit too cheesy with it.
Did it go soap opera?
It was kind of like...
that's too bad.
It was kind of like... it kind of went that same idea as like Riverdale, where it's so shit, it's good. Like,
Again, I had no idea.
It's like you can't take it... Because you can't take it seriously at all, you weirdly just accept it for what it is.
Maybe I just have standards? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is. Yeah, which baffles why you sit in a room with us two.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. All right. Anyways,
I cut standards. I'm very specific.
just goth girlfriend. That's it.
Just a goth girlfriend.
A girlfriend with black lipstick. That's all he needs.
She can be batshit crazy. Look, I've ducked a few plates in my life. I can handle batshit crazy. It's fine.
Do you want my answer now?
Yes, please.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I want to play like a 10-year-old child that has been like that is just a messenger or an it's against their will almost, like they're a chosen one. And I was saying this about clerics as well, but I want the patron to be like an arch devil. Or a lich that is just like, you know what, I'm grooming you for the future, or you will be the Antichrist. And that's the character that I want to play.
Oh, you're playing Damien.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would 100% go for that with a Warlock, right? Yeah. And so they don't choose. They just level up against their will and getting more and more powerful. And I would say directly to the Dungeon Master, what level am I taking and what spells am I getting?
Oh, do you know what? I love that. And guess what? You're getting a familiar that you don't want in that dark, evil dog.
Yeah.
That will just always be close to you.
Yeah, maybe I'm getting a Hellhound instead of an Imp.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't matter if you want it or not. It's there.
Yeah, and that's
your guardian.
I would flip this on its head and go like
I fucking love this
go Good Omens with this. And
I haven't seen it.
I'm
in the middle of reading it. So
okay. It's more of a comedy bend to this whole Antichrist story. So I would throw that as like maybe your patron is a bit mistaken and he thinks you'll be the Antichrist, but it's actually your twin brother, or it's actually someone you're related to. Saying, and they're dumping all their power into you while this being of power is growing, unbeknownst to both, and then like halfway through the campaign.
That is one thing that I would absolutely never ever do is comedy line, punchline character.
No, I see what you're saying.
No, you start that, and then you build this tension between the real Antichrist and
I'd have to go really seriously. I'm balls deep in this. Adam, I'm so nuts deep in guts on this backstory right now.
Yep.
I fucking love it. It's good. I gotta play this character.
Yeah, and I think that you would, but you have to start.
Oh, we can't say nuts deep in guts on the internet, Dan. Sorry, Adam.
I've got deep in nuts.
Oh my god!
Just standing in some pecans,
surrounded by walnuts.
Yep. Anyway, no, I think that you would have to play, and this is where you sit there and you say, "I'm going to do." I would point by this character because I'm just going to go charisma right through the roof, and then probably Dex. But I'm not going a whole lot of con or strength. I'm going to have negative modifiers in intelligence and constitution and strength because I'm playing an 8-year-old child.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, right? That's the flavor. And again, your party has to be cool with this because you're going to need to be protected.
Yeah.
Right? So you will be the first one to fall every time unless you are the Undying, at which point you stand back up again, right? Or you are consistently helping other people, right? So that's kind of the flavor that I would
How would you play this alignment? True neutral?
No, I would be a lawful good child, and slowly, and I would turn to the DM and say,
the tears, you're going to change.
Yeah, with the tears, knock me down to whatever I need to be for this character. So, and I think that the players would know that my character will be the big bad at the end. I'm not hiding that from everyone.
Yeah.
Right? The characters don't know, but the players do. And there's no reason to be suspicious at level 7. You have to have the right party for this, right? Because they can't be looking at you out of the corner of their eye at 3rd level when you've got a 20-level campaign going.
I would play it truly fair to the players and say, hey, I'm not going to screw you on this. You may be able to save this character.
Yeah.
You may be able to redeem
But
this
that
character.
is up to the Dungeon Master to say yes or no. There would be some things where I would say, I want to do this, and I would give the DM, I would give him or her the ability to just say, no, you don't. You would do this. The power comes in and says, do this instead.
I would almost run this as an NPC for a group of good characters who are trying to prevent the slow corruption of this character. That is inevitable because he's undying. He will get corrupted. And like give the knowledge to this group of good PCs that this character is heading in this path and it is your mission to stop it. But you cannot kill the kid's a kid. You can't kill the kid.
That's it. I love the conflict, though, of it will be good people that are coming after you. It will be good people that are coming after you.
And then it's how Hellhound keeps on coming back out. Of course, it's a Hellhound, so it'll attack the party.
How do your lawful good players deal with good people coming to kill this child? That they feel conflicted that they have to.
Again, I don't want this as an NPC. As a player, I want to experience the emotional trauma that comes with this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for out of this. So that is how I would subvert the cult leader bullshit that comes with it. As much as I'm like, my cleric build was, I'm a cult leader. And my warlock build is, I'm an innocent who's being blessed by a power I don't want.
Yeah.
Right? I've like flipped it a little bit.
I do like the idea of a cleric being a cult leader as well, though.
So do I. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, is there any last little bits of Warlock we desperately want to bring up here before we close out the episode?
You know what? We've gone for a little while there.
This has been a long one.
Going to be though.
Yeah. This is my like. I've always talked about how barbarians are one of my favorite classes. Warlocks now are my choice. I will dip into Warlocks if I need to.
You don't say.
But I just love the options of Warlocks. I love the flavor of Warlocks.
They can be very different, all of them.
They're all very, very different and bring so much to a character.
And you only need one level to dip into, right? You don't have to go 3. You get stuff at first level.
You don't have to, but it's super tempting to. Like, I would go 2 so you get your invocations at the very minimum. Because you don't get invocations at level 1.
Yeah, right? But I mean, I think it's easy to dip into the same way it's easy to dip into Bard or Rogue, right? Like your first level thing can be enough. If you're not crazy about your level 20 ability, and you're pretty sure you're not going to get there anyway, I have no problem dipping into this.
You know what? I love there's so many different ways you go, oh, you know what? I would go like Dark Aladdin and do like, if Jafar did find the genie, which I guess he does in the end. Spoiler alert for Aladdin. 1996.
Hey, that movie's in theaters right now.
But you know that type of dark warlock would be so good. Like if your patron was a djinn. Oh, yes.
That would be so cool.
I just can't handle gin. It makes me queasy.
I prefer whiskey. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Warlock episode of It's a Mimic. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, anything, go ahead and reach us at the It's a Mimic Instagram page at It's a Mimic. Again, there's the It's a Mimic Twitter, which is It's a Mimic D&D, and the It's a Mimic Facebook, which It's a Mimic. There's also our personal accounts, which you can find online, but is also here, Adam.
Yep.
What's your?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to figure out which orange is the new black for me. So, I'm sorry. I'm at Rusty Styrofoam. Can you guys please tell me which Harry Potter house I would be? Just hit me up at Rusty Styrofoam on Instagram.
You'd be Slytherin with me. 100%.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, he's Ravenclaw. 100% he's Ravenclaw. 100% he's Ravenclaw.
He takes too
he's
much.
an evil Ravenclaw. 100%.
I'm pretty sure I'm
Iron Man. No, because
Man.
I like you too much for you to be Ravenclaw. Ravenclaws they just annoy me.
Everyone just annoys you though because you're.
Yeah, they do.
You're one of the guys. You're a blonde guy with a green jacket, right?
Apart from goth girls. So if you do have a Vancouver-based goth girl that you can send my way, you can reach me at @SendNoobsDND. Don't talk to me about anything else because I don't give a fuck. Dan.
And you could reach me at Oscar the Orc. That's with underscores and K's.
You can also send goth girl stuff to Dan to forward to Terry just to make it awkward.
Please. Please do not do that. Or the obscene amounts of BDSM furniture suggestions I've been getting on my social media. Those can stop as well.
Oh, you can send those to me. Send those to me.
Send those to Terry.
Send those to me. I'll go through them. I'll send the good ones on to Dan. Send those to me.
And good lord, you people are terrible.
What do you mean, you people?
What the hell is this
specifically
podcast?
You two across the table from me. You guys are terrible people.
What the hell is this podcast?
I have no idea. Anyways, thank you.
There's thousands of people that download this now. I can't believe it.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of It's a Mimic. We're ever so grateful that you guys do. And we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
We love you.
I'm ambivalent.
Oh, God damn. I want to do bad things with you.
Thank you for listening to It's a Mimic. Check us out online at itsamimic.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have questions you would like answered by the guys on the show? Send them an email to itsamimic@gmail.com. Tune in every Tuesday for more.
Power Rangers. I'm just gonna cut the whole 30-minute episode just to make it easier for you. Power Rangers, write this down. Go straight to the Megazord and stand on them. Now nobody has to have the smaller fight, which leads to everybody getting bigger and then have the bigger fight.
Yeah, but then you don't have a 30-minute serialized children's
Don't
show
worry
about a bunch of ninjas.
I fixed it. Okay.
Is it
Don't worry,
about puberty?
I fixed it. Is that what it's about?
Is it a metaphor for puberty?
I last time I watched that, I was actively engaged in puberty, so I don't know.
I heard, and I'm sure there's some nerd out there in the world which will make sure I get this right, or tell me if I'm wrong, that it was actually originally, all the fighting things, pop, 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 was a Japanese show. And actually, the people that played the regular people never got to do that. They just got to do the bit where they're in high school. And
Yeah, and every once in a while they would do it without like their helmet or the mask or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that would legitimately be them. So they ended up going through years of like martial arts training for sweet fuck all.
Yeah.
Well, some of them went on to like MMA careers and porn careers.
I'm a big MMA fan. I'm telling you, it didn't work out.
No, it didn't. No.
Definitely not.
Honestly, it says here that I'm a Donatello.
Are you just sitting there doing quizzes?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
I never liked Donatello. He was my lowest one.
I like Michelangelo.
Nah, Raphael, man.
Yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
with you, Raphael.
Yeah. No, Michelangelo always had fun.
Yeah, you having a lot of fun these days, Dan? Are you Michelangelo?
No, I'm not.
You are
What
Donatello.
happened, Dan, you square? Now you're working for the man.
Well, no, now I'm Donatello. I'm the guy who does all the tech for this. If anything, you're Raphael and...
Yeah, man.
Splinter?
He's the ooze?
What, Crag? What's his name?
Krang.
Krang?
Krang?
Shredder!
Okay.
I look like a ball sack.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have benefited from this audio format by not witnessing these two tools do that in person.
Good times.
All right.